The Lancaster Barnstormers pitching especially impressive last night with 15 strikeouts tonight. The club goes for a 2-0 record at the outset of 2022. Good evening, everyone, from Caramount Health Park in Gastonia, North Carolina. The Lancaster Barnstormers fresh off a 5-2 opening night victory against the High Point Rockers last night. The 15 strikeouts and limiting the Rockers to just 8 scattered singles, 3 of which never left the infield last night, and certainly an A-plus for the pitching that the Barnstormers received a night ago. If there was a downside to last night, it was the fact that Gastonia was able to gain 10 extra bases on Barnstormers' combination of pitching and catching. There were 7 steals in last night's game, 2 pass balls, and 1 wild pitch. One of the pass balls allowing a runner to reach first base. So that's certainly an area of the game that needs an upgrade. And I was talking to Mark Johnson earlier today, and he said that it was a timing thing. This Gastonia team has very good speed and very experienced base runners. They've got a lot of guys who have stolen 20 or more in past seasons, and they were able to take advantage last night and time the pitchers. So Mark said it has to do with the just staggering the amount of time that pitchers are taking to get to the plate. They were a little too consistent with their timing to the plate last night, and that's going to be a work in progress, especially when you've got some younger pitchers. So that was really the only downside to the ball game last night. The Barnstormers offensively produced a home run, a couple of doubles in the game, parlayed that into 5 runs. So now we're on to game 2. Dominic DeSabatino will get the start for the Barnstormers tonight. He and Augie Silk switching spots in the rotation from what we were told. Augie is going tomorrow. So it's DeSabatino against former Major Leaguer Deck McGuire for the Gastonia Honey Hunters tonight. The Honey Hunters have taken the field here at Caramount Health Park. We'll have the starting lineups after the national anthem, which is soon to come. And now we'll turn you down to the field.
You could please rise. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. We honor America with the singing of our national anthem. Performed this evening by Ricky Collins. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Our national anthem this evening at Caramount Health Park as the Lancaster Barnstormers take on the Gastonia Honey Hunters in the second game of this 4-game season opening weekend series here at Caramount Health Park. And here are the starting lineups for our ball game this evening. For the Barnstormers, it will be Melvin Mercedes leading off and playing second base. The shortstop tonight will be Trace Lair. He will bat in the number 2 slot. Jake Hoover turned his ankle a bit last night, shouldn't be out long, should be available for duty later on, but they're going to be cautious with Hoover. And then Anderson Felice has moved in to play third base. He will bat third. The cleanup hitter for the Barnstormers is the catcher, Colton Shaver. Mark Zagunis will bat fifth. He'll be in right field. The first baseman batting sixth is Andretti Cordero. Ladarius Clark, who for the second straight season here in Gastonia homered on opening night, will bat seventh. He'll play center field. Anthony Peroni, again, the designated hitter, batting eighth, and Devon Torrance is in left field. He is hitting ninth. Dominic DeSabatino with the start for the Barnstormers tonight. DeSabatino 11-9 a year ago, 1-1 against Gastonia. For the Honey Hunters this evening, it will be Johnny Davis leading off. He will be in center. Jack Reinheimer, who was never retired at the plate last night, he is the shortstop batting second. Zach Jarrett is the right field batting third. The cleanup hitter, the first baseman, Stuart Levy. Joseph Rosa will bat fifth. He is at second base. Reese Hampton, the left fielder, batting sixth. Cesar Trejo will be the designated hitter. He's batting seventh. Luis Roman is catching and hitting eighth. And Alex Holderbach is, I should say, Roman at third base batting eighth. Holderbach is the catcher batting in the number 9 slot. On the hill is former major leaguer Deck McGuire, the first-round pick for the Toronto Blue Jays back in 2010, making his Atlantic League debut here tonight. The first pitch to Melvin Mercedes is in for a called strike. It is 0-1. Owen Ballard Jr. signaling the balls and strikes tonight. Crew chief Mario Rosas moving to third. Nick Sempert rotates around to first base. Big swing and a miss by Mercedes. It is 0-2. 6'6" Deck McGuire. He's 32 years of age from Glen Allen, Virginia. Here is the motion and the pitch. Fastball high and outside. And it's ball 1, 2 strikes to the leadoff batter, Mercedes. McGuire pitched collegiately at Georgia Tech. He was the 11th person taken in the draft back in 2010. The year Bryce Harper was selected first. Swing and a miss at a beautiful breaking ball. Mercedes, who had a couple of hits last night, has gone on strikes, one away. And Trace Lair, the Lancaster shortstop, will step in. Lair with a solid night at the plate. He had a double on a sinking liner to center that skipped past Davis, and also a sac fly out to center that produced the 4th run in the Barnstormers' 3rd inning. Left-handed hitting infielder playing short tonight. Stands in. Here's the kick. McGuire to the plate. And the fastball is up and away. Ball 1 and no strikes. The Barnstormers have just 11 position players listed on the roster. A couple of pitchers that you could put in there if need be. Kelly Dugan and Jake Hoover, the spare parts tonight for manager Ross Peoples. Ball 2 is outside, 2-0. Neither one is 100%. With the warmer weather, and we have reached the 80s today down here west of Charlotte, Dugan has a better shot at playing. He's just got a slightly tweaked muscle, but they don't want it to get worse. There's a called strike, 2-1. And with Hoover, he just rolled his ankle a little bit on the diving stop up the middle last night against Reinheimer in the 3rd inning. Breaking ball and a dandy for McGuire. A strike taken. Lair now batting at 2-2. Anderson Felice, the switch hitting third baseman tonight, waits on deck. You've got to have versatility in the Atlantic League. You run into these situations, but you're comfortable with Felice playing just about anywhere. Popped up down the third base line. Long chase after it for Luis Roman. The ball dropping right around the bullpen mound for the Honey Hunters. And with that and the change of elevation, Roman had to bail on trying to make the catch. The foul ground here, and you can get some of an idea of it in the view on the camera. It's enormous down the baselines. Not so much straight behind the plate, but down the lines, tremendous amount of room. Swung on and missed. McGuire is set down 2 in a row. 11 Barnstormers did strike out last night. You expect the pitchers to be ahead of the hitters at this time of year. 15 Honey Hunters struck out. That's more than the normal number of strikeouts that you would expect to see in a 9-inning game. 2 outs, nobody on base. Here's Felice. Anderson 1 for 4 last night. The hit, the one time he stepped in from the left side of the plate. He looks at a ball outside, although it certainly looked like Ballard flinched and thought about calling that a strike for a second. 1-0. McGuire kicks, brings it home, and Felice swings over the top. We mentioned that Deck McGuire has pitched in the major leagues. He was with 3 clubs within the span of 2 years at the major league level. He pitched for the Reds, the Mets, and the Angels. 2017 and 18, overall 1-3 with a 5.23 ERA. Ground ball by Felice, that is foul, and past Cameron Gann in the first base coach's box. 1-2 now on Felice. McGuire off to a blistering start tonight. 2 strikeouts already in the books against hitters in Mercedes and Lair that are tough to strike out. And now Felice goes down as well. McGuire strikes out the side here in the top half of the first inning. Nothing across for the Barnstormers. We're through a half tonight here at Caramount Health Park with the score. The Lancaster Barnstormers nothing, the Gastonia Honey Hunters coming up.
For the youth of our area, the Barnstormers are offering a wide variety of camps throughout the summer to teach everyone some tips on baseball and softball. Camps are offered to kids as young as 4 and as old as 12. Some even involve the parents. They run from June 11th all the way through September 17. For more information, go to LancasterBarnstormers.com and click on the Youth Baseball tab. All presented by Orthopedic Associates of Lancaster and Play It Again Sports.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Connect with events that have shaped and changed the game and our country. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org. See you in Cooperstown, where the journey becomes legend.
To the bottom of the first, and right-hander Dominic DeSabatino on the hill for the Barnstormers. DeSabatino, 6'4" righty in his second season here in the Atlantic League. Hails from Delaware, and who not only led the Barnstormers in wins last year, but he was tied for 3rd in the Atlantic League. He went 11-9. The ERA was high at 7.36, but in last season, you could somewhat get away with those numbers. He threw 118 and 2/3 innings. He yielded 149 hits, 97 earned runs. He walked 63 and struck out 97. There was a stretch about 2 months in length where DeSabatino more or less dominated. It was from June the 25th through the 14th of August, a little under 2 months. He won 8 straight decisions over 9 starts. And his ERA over that span was 5.40. And one of the poorer starts in that stretch came against Gastonia. He was 1-1 against the Honey Hunters. And his victory against them, he gave up 8 runs in 5 innings. When these two clubs got together, especially in Lancaster, the scoreboard had a hard time keeping up. DeSabatino benefited from a fairly significant onslaught offensively on the Barnstormers' part. Here is the speedy Johnny Davis leading off, and he will look at a fastball for a strike. It is 0-1. DeSabatino, former farmhand of the San Diego Padres from 2015 to 2019, coming out of Harford Community College in Maryland. Fastball is up. It is 1-1 strike on Davis, who was 1 for 5 last night. He had one of the 7 stolen bases by the Honey Hunters in the game. DeSabatino comes back at 1-1, missing outside and low. Davis in at 2 balls and a strike. The Barnstormers tonight with Anderson Felice at 3rd, Trace Lair as the shortstop, Melvin Mercedes at 2nd, and Andretti Cordero over at 1st. Here's the pitch, and that spins around Davis. 3-1 the count. Devon Torrance is in left. The center fielder is Ladarius Clark. Mark Zagunis is in right. And for the second consecutive night, Colton Shaver is in behind the plate. 3 balls and 1 strike. DeSabatino will work, and there's a swing and a miss as the count fills. 3-2. Davis had a brief time at the pinnacle of baseball, playing in the major leagues with Tampa Bay, largely as a pinch runner back in 2019. His major league experience somewhat similar, if you remember Rico Noel with the Barnstormers. He had some time like that with the Yankees. Ball 4 is inside and low. Davis draws the leadoff walk against DeSabatino, and here is where the Barnstormers need to make the adjustment from last night, because Gastonia ran us almost into the ground. If they had had more base runners, it would have been a lot worse, but virtually everybody was taking off last night. We'll see if Davis goes, because Johnny Davis is the leadoff batter and perhaps the fastest man on the ball club. The batter is Jack Reinheimer, the shortstop who had 2 hits, 2 walks, and he was hit by a pitch last night. A couple of stolen bases along the way. First pitch from DeSabatino misses, and it's ball 1, no strike. So the Barnstormers had the side go down very quickly in the top half of the first inning, all on swinging third strikes. DeSabatino has walked the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of inning 1, and to Reinheimer, it is 1-0. Infield set, double play depth. DeSabatino will toss it over to first. Diving back in ahead of the throw is Davis. In case you haven't noticed, the camera angle slightly different tonight. I moved over from the right side of the booth to the left side. I've been told that we might have a TrackMan operator last night who would use the left side of the booth. Throw goes to first, gets away from Cordero, but Davis in no position to get up and run. Reinheimer, the hitter, still at a 1-0. Cordero continues to hold the runner. The Barnstormers did cut down 1 last night. There goes Davis. The pitch, a called strike. The throw by Shaver is not quite in time. It bounced up, and Mercedes couldn't get the tag down. It looked like the Barnstormers had a chance. Shaver bouncing the throw, and off the rug it came up a little bit, and Mercedes, well, he's just not Javier Baez, the best at applying tags in the business. I don't mean to indicate that there's anything wrong with Melvin's ability to handle throws and lay tags on. So it's 1-1 to Reinheimer, already a runner in scoring position for Gastonia here tonight. It's their 8th stolen base of the series. Takes away the double play chance. Felice slightly behind the bag at third. DeSabatino's pitch slides off the outside corner. 2-1 as Gastonia tries to take its first lead of the series. The Barnstormers broke the scoreless tie with 4 runs in the top of the third last night. They were never headed. Davis inching away from second. DeSabatino gives him a glance. Now to the plate, 2-1. Strike 2, tickling the outside edge. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 304 down the left field line here in Gastonia, 400 straight away, and 326 down the right field line. You have to clear the screen in left for it to be a home run. I was not aware of that until today. Usually those screens are back receded behind the fence. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Great 3/4 almost down to the side delivery from DeSabatino. And we have our 4th strikeout of the contest tonight. A strikeout that's very important in that situation because they can't move Johnny Davis over to third. Zach Jarrett now steps in. Jarrett was 1 for 5 last night. He had a bloop hit down the right field line in the bottom half of the 9th inning that could have set the stage for a Gastonia rally against Scott Schumann. But Jarrett, who was not the tying run, he was a space filler at the time, was thrown out by Mercedes trying to stretch that into a double. And it could have cost the Honey Hunters dearly. We'll never know. I mean, Schumann's still Schumann. It definitely cost them a run. They would have scored. The final out of the game was a fly ball deep enough to center that it would have gotten 1 run home. We'll never know if they would have been able to come back or not. To Jarrett, a strike on the outside corner. DeSabatino getting comfortable with that edge against the right-handed batters. 0-1 on Zach Jarrett, the former Baltimore Orioles farmhand, and there's another one on deck in Stuart Levy, who's playing first base tonight. Moving out from behind the dish. Swing and a miss, and DeSabatino gets ahead at 0-2. Dom's first appearance of the year came on opening night last year, and he gave up 3 runs in the 9th inning in a ball game that the Barnstormers were winning going away. It didn't really matter. He just got his feet wet. Pitched a scoreless inning later in that series and had the 2 starts later on, splitting decisions. He's down and away to Jarrett. Ball 1, 2 strikes. Levy's on deck, another right-handed batter, and then will be Joseph Rosa, the switch-hitting second baseman, should the inning continue. 1 out, runner at second. We have yet to see a ball in play tonight, and that is certainly one of the things that you like to track with the current thinking on the marketing side of baseball. There's a breaking ball. This is hit in the air, right center field. Retreating on it is Clark. He'll be there to make the catch. Digging for third is Davis, and Ladarius will let him have it. He was in no position to get off a great throw. He was fooled on that initially. 2 outs with the runner at third. So DeSabatino just needs to get Stuart Levy, the first baseman, who was 0 for 3 last night, and he can get out of this inning unscathed. But that is the first ball that has been put in play in this game, and by my count, that is on the 28th pitch of the night. We had a stretch in a start for Andrew Chatora here last year in that opening series. We went 55 pitches without a ball put into play, and that's what baseball is trying to get away from, is those stretches. Last night, we averaged 7.1 pitches per ball in play. Here's the delivery, and the fastball to Levy is up. It is ball 1-0 from Dominic DeSabatino. 2 outs, Davis over at third. We've seen 1 walk, 4 strikeouts so far tonight. Last night, we had a total of 7 walks. Not one of those was intentional. And 26 strikeouts along the way. Here's the pitch. Levy swings through that. 1 ball, 1 strike from the Barnstormers right-hander trying to wiggle out of a mini jam here in the first inning. Johnny Davis, the runner over at third, a wide lead into foul territory. Here's the motion to Sabatino with a breaking ball. Nice slider. That has been effective against the right-handed hitters. 1-2. Chance now to get out of the inning. A walk and a stolen base. Reinheimer was ahead in the count. This inning was not looking terribly promising early. And now 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Levy will have to rescue the inning for Gastonia. DeSabatino ready to go, full wind and the pitch. It's popped up behind third base. Fading into foul ground is Felice. Anderson is there for the catch. And DeSabatino doing a magnificent job to get out of some danger here in the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. And Gastonia strands a man at third. We are through 1 full inning tonight at Caramount Health Park. The Barnstormers and Gastonia are still scoreless.
This season offers a whole line of new items from Otto's Hospitality. Dig into the world-famous Nathan's Hot Dogs. Take a trip to Otto's Cantina for a walking taco or your favorite adult beverage. Enjoy a helmet of Otto's meatballs or a sausage with peppers from the Broken Bat Deck. For the sweet tooth, there are jumbo chocolate chip cookies, Skyline cotton candy, and ice cream novelties. Or simply snack on Emma's popcorn in a variety of exciting flavors. What a great way to savor your time at the ballpark, courtesy of Otto's.
There is a weekend in July where the baseball world revolves around a village in upstate New York. Baseball Hall of Fame induction weekend in Cooperstown is an unforgettable experience full of family-friendly activities and priceless moments. Make your plans today for July 22nd through 25th for the induction of Bud Fowler, Gil Hodges, Jim Cott, Minnie Minoso, Tony Oliva, Buck O'Neill, and David Ortiz as the class of 2022. Visit baseballhall.org today for the
We go to the top of the second. No score in the ball game so far between the Barnstormers and Gastonia. Lancaster didn't unleash a mighty offense last night, but it was enough with the 5-2 victory. The lowest scoring game in the Atlantic League last night. And also, it's the Barnstormers, the longest game played time-wise. 3 hours, 17 minutes was the official game time a night ago. We had a couple of arguments on plays around home plate. One of those involving the current hitter, Colton Shaver, who certainly felt he fouled a pitch into the brown carpet. It looked from my vantage point like it ticked off the end of the bat as well. He was ruled to have struck out. Tough night for Colton last night. No balls and a strike against Deck McGuire. The next offering, he swings and misses. It's 0-2. McGuire has been dominant here in the early going. In last night's starter, John Anderson, both products of the Toronto Blue Jays farm system, and they've known each other for quite some time. Here's the pitch, and that is grounded foul off the end of the bat. Shaver out ahead of it. Still no balls and 2 strikes. Colton 0 for 4 last night, and he had his hands full behind the plate. It's all a question of getting acclimated to a new pitching staff. Here comes the 0-2. That is low, and the catcher tonight, Alex Holderbach, making a good stop. Shaver could have taken off and run. That's the rule. And we have gotten some clarification. Last night, I was talking about how the scoring that appeared online and my scorebook did not line up on those situations. We did get some clarification. Here's the 1-2, swing and a miss. Shaver can take off and run here. He's going to. Throw down to first base is in time, and Shaver becomes the 4th straight Barnstormer to go down swinging at the outset of this ball game. Mark Zagunis, the right fielder, now will step to the plate. The rule is this. If you take off and run before the 3rd strike and you make it safely, it is a base hit. If you don't make it safely, they're trying to encourage the hitters to do it. It goes down as a sacrifice bunt. No at bat, from what I understand, and out. There's a called strike on Zagunis. The Barnstormers certainly having fits with McGuire so far. On strike 3, though, it's still a strikeout. And that was the case in both instances last night, one involving Jake Skoll in the 1st inning and Anthony Peroni in the 5th. Into the brown on the rug. A breaking ball didn't get to the plate, and Zagunis bats at a ball and a strike. Lancaster has not put a ball in play to this point. We're scoreless in the top of the 2nd with 1 out, nobody on board. Here's the motion and the offering. Strike 2 to the outside corner. McGuire, with the exception of a pitch or 2 that has bounced, has been absolutely pinpoint with all of his pitches and a great mix. You can see why he was a first pick and why he made it to the major leagues. Swung on and missed by Zagunis, and it's 5 in a row. It brings on Cordero, the first baseman. At this point in time, Barnstormers hitters might feel like they're next up coming off the cart to go to the guillotine. 5 in a row have struck out swinging. The McGuire pitch, low and away to Andretti, ball 1 and no strikes. Cordero with 1 hit last night. That came helping to build the Barnstormers tally in the 9th inning. He had a single through the left side. Was forced at second on a ground ball by Clark to follow. The motion and again the pitch. Cordero swinging over the top. McGuire has the Barnstormers thoroughly baffled at this point in time. 11th man taken back in 2010. Harper was first. Manny Machado and Drew Pomerantz also went in the top 5 that year. Immediately before McGuire was Michael Choice of Oakland. And a Cordero, a swing and a miss. It's 1 and 2. And Pretty good player taken afterwards, Yasmani Grandal. Not a bad draft class at all. And Deck McGuire was right in the middle of it. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Andretti Cordero. The kick, the pitch, he lays off a ball 2. This is about as far as a Barnstormers hitter has been able to push McGuire. Two balls, 2 strikes. Ladarius Clark waits on deck. No score. Second inning of play tonight at Caramount Health Park. Lovely day here. Just in the low 80s, very pleasantly dry. There's a liner and a base hit for Cordero off a shattered bat. Cordero on with a 2-out knock, and it brings on Ladarius Clark. The bat got sawed into splinters. Cordero strong enough to be able to muscle it over the head of the shortstop Reinheimer nonetheless. Impressive to hit a ball that well when your bat just comes apart at the seams. Clark stands in. He had the home run last night. It was his only hit. Melvin Mercedes, the only multi-hit game for the Barnstormers a night ago. 2-out base runner. And to Clark, the fastball gets there for a called strike. It is 0-1. McGuire obviously pitching out of the stretch for the first time. Cordero won't be the guy who leads the Barnstormers in stolen bases by any means. He's taken 22 in his career. And now Clark wraps a base hit up the middle. Cordero will park at second. And the Barnstormers have a 2-out threat here in the top of inning 2, back-to-back singles. And it leaves the inning to Anthony Peroni. Peroni reached on an error and scored in the 4-run third last night. And then with a single off the glove of the second baseman, Rosa drove in the insurance run in the top half of the ninth. Cordero's at second. Clark is at first. The Barnstormers maybe have picked up on something after 5 straight strikeouts. They have consecutive singles here in the second inning, both getting through to the outfield. Peroni trying to get a runner more on the board here. McGuire to the plate. It's a breaking ball. It gets past Holderbach, and now the Barnstormers get runners to second and third. It came off the glove. I'll check. I always have to. But my guess is pass ball on that one. And more than half the time, I am wrong. I'd be really bad at true-false tests. Second and third, regardless, for the Barnstormers, and a 1-ball and no strike count on Peroni. I was wrong again. Wild pitch. McGuire is ready to go. Breaking ball to Peroni, grounded to the shortstop. Easy play for Reinheimer, and Peroni is cut down to end the inning. Unable to produce a run. The Barnstormers rattling some sabers, though, with 2 outs in the second inning. No runs on 2 hits with no errors. 2 runners are left in scoring position. We go to the Gastonia half of the second inning. There is still no score.
Being over 55 does not mean a ticket, it means 10 with the Silver Stormers Club presented by the Lancaster Barnstormers and Audiology Associates of Lancaster. Anyone 55 and over can enjoy baseball action at every Tuesday home game for only $50 on the season. That is nearly a 70% savings. Members also receive a special Silver Stormers t-shirt to wear proudly at the stadium. For more information or to sign up, go to LancasterBarnstormers.com and look in the season tickets section.
Rock with the 5-time Tony Award-nominated musical Rock of Ages at Dutch Apple Dinner Theater, April 22nd through May 14th. When a development company plans to turn the Sunset Strip into another strip mall, it's up to a group of wannabe rockers to save the day and the music. With music from Styx, Bon Jovi, Poison, and more. Rock of Ages features all your favorite 80s rock anthems and power ballads. How can you resist? Call 717-898-1900 or visit DutchApple.com to reserve your tickets today.
No score as we get to the bottom half of the second inning. The Barnstormers with a pair of two-out singles, but could not produce anything out of those. And now DeSabatino will be facing Joseph Rosa, Reese Hampton, and Cesar Trejo as we go to the home half of inning number 2. I want to clarify one of the other rules. We talked about the drop pitch rule in the earlier stages of the game, but also we have the double hook designated hitter rule. But it was decided that that would be suspended for the first 2 weeks of the season because of the short spring training in the Atlantic League. The pitchers really aren't ready to go 5. Both starters were out before 5 innings last night. So we will not see the double hook rule in force until May 3rd. High pop-up behind third base. Difficult play. Racing over on this is Torrance, and it will drop in front of him right along the line. A fair ball, and into second with a bloop double is Joseph Rosa. Slicing fly ball down the left field line. Torrance had a long way to go. So did Anderson Felice, trying to race back on that. Trace Lair was playing up the middle. There's just nothing that anyone could do to defend that. You were hoping it would fade foul. It didn't. And it's a leadoff double for Joseph Rosa, the first extra base hit by a Honey Hunter in this series. Now here is Reese Hampton, the left fielder. He was 1 for 4 with a stolen base last night. Rosa has his 3rd hit of the series. That is the most on either club. He's at second. DeSabatino to the plate. Swing and a miss. He gets ahead of Hampton at 0-1. Very similar to the fly ball that dropped in for Jarrett in the 9th inning against Schumann last night, although that was in the other direction and not quite as deep as that one. But the idea was the same. There's a foul ball back out of play along the third base line. Hampton bats at no balls and 2 strikes. Barnstormers nothing. And the Gastonia Honey Hunters nothing, but Gastonia with the threat here in the second inning. This is actually the second straight inning where a Honey Hunter has reached second before the first out. DeSabatino able to work out of it in the first and trying to do so again in inning 2. No balls, 2 strikes to Hampton, who had a great finish with Gastonia last year. That pitch wasted outside for a ball, 1-2. 350 with 10 homers and 27 runs batted in down the stretch for Hampton. Native of the Charlotte area. A lot of good baseball played in this part of North Carolina. Swing and a miss to Sabatino. Fans his 2nd of the night. Hampton goes down. And Cesar Trejo, a designated hitter tonight, will come to the plate. Trejo was well-traveled in the Atlantic League last year. It seemed like he played for more than 2 teams, but realistically, he only played for High Point in Southern Maryland. He batted .276 with 9 home runs, 40 runs driven in. Right-handed batter all the way. Venezuela native, but he came to college in this area. He played at UNC Greensboro, which is just to the other side of High Point. A lot of North Carolina cities stacked together along the interstates. Breaking ball, this one getting the inside corner into Sabatino, forges ahead of Trejo at 0-1. You have the Research Triangle, Durham, Raleigh, and Chapel Hill. And then you have the Triad, which is Winston-Salem, Greensboro, and High Point. And realistically, those clusters of cities are only 45 minutes or so apart. Burlington, North Carolina is in there as well. Here's the 0-1 pitch, knocked down by Shaver. Rosa might have contemplated a run for third, but he didn't go. 1 ball, 1 strike. And then you come down this way and you hit the Charlotte Metroplex, Charlotte, an area that has grown by leaps and bounds over the last couple of decades. It's a huge financial industry part of the country down here and a really wonderful market. 1 ball and 1 strike to Trejo. There is a chopper on the right side handled by Cordero. The PFP's last week worked. DeSabatino getting over to cover the bag. Rosa moves to third now with 2 outs, and the third baseman, Luis Roman, will step into the box. Ross had the guys working on conversions just like that virtually every morning during the spring training time. Obviously giving the guys Easter Sunday off, but there were a lot of workouts even before the exhibition games, certainly the days without games. They didn't work out on Wednesday. Guys had the day off before jumping on the executive coach and coming down here. DeSabatino needs to get through Roman, who's able to hold on the swing and a pitch down low. Ball 1, no strikes. Roman 0 for 2 with a pair of walks last night. Alex Holderbach, the catcher, right-handed batter, waits on deck. DeSabatino has been in a challenge each of the first 2 innings. Walk and a stolen base in the first, Blue double here in the second. Right now, Gastonia 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. Not any longer. That ball is hammered out the left field. Back it goes, and the walls will not contain it. A 2-run homer to the opposite field for Luis Roman, and Gastonia on the board here tonight on the Roman homer. Luis Roman hit 8 homers around the partner leagues a year ago. Able to take advantage of that short dimension out to left field here in Gastonia. No longer 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. Alex Holderbach, the catcher, will come to the plate. Holderbach and Colton Shaver, the Barnstormers catcher, were both in the Astros organization last year, and they're similar type hitters. Not tremendous average, but a lot of power. Ball 1 from DeSabatino is outside and low. Holderbach last year batted .225, 13 homers, 38 runs batted in. He was a step behind Shaver in the Astros system. He played at Asheville and Corpus Christi. There's a pitch that'll get back to the backstop. Holderbach declines to go, and it's 2 balls and nothing. It'll be interesting to see how many players take up the offer to run on any pitch that gets away. Southern Maryland was the team when we first used this rule back in the second half of 2019 that was most inclined to go, and they did it the first time at Lancaster's expense. Tony Thomas, as you recall, whose shoes are in the Hall of Fame somewhere, fouled away. Probably in a storage unit at the moment. They rotate displays just like any museum does, in and out. 2 balls and 1 strike on the catcher, Alex Holderbach. 2-0, Gastonia leading on the home run ball by Roman here in the second inning. Barnstormers plenty of time to come back. The top of the order will shortly get a second look at Deck McGuire. That could make all the difference. Fouled over my head by Holderbach, and DeSabatino now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ball came off a roof, and there's not a single roof anywhere to be found here at Caramount Health Park. By that I mean a continuous roof. Every section has a different level of covering. The pitch inside, ball 3. I was talking with Rick White, the Atlantic League president, earlier this evening. He is in attendance tonight. He was at High Point last night and with us here tonight. And the Atlantic League, Rick, very proud of this facility. Swing and a miss. It's different. to say the least. But it is wonderful, very aesthetically pleasing down here. Holderbach is gone, but Gastoni able to pick up 2 runs in the inning on a bloop double, and then an opposite field home run by Roman. 2 hits, no errors, nobody is left on base. And now through 2 here in Gastonia, the Honey Hunters 2 and the Barnstormers nothing.
Are you sick and tired of washers that don't use enough water or take 2 hours to clean and don't last more than a few years? Well, come into Gockenauer's in East Petersburg now and let us show you the Speed Queen commercial grade laundry. Built the old-fashioned way with warranties up to 7 full years. Gockenauer's will deliver and install your new Speed Queen, and we know you'll be fully satisfied with your purchase. Gockenauer's in East Petersburg, your hometown dealer for 73 years.
At Clipper Magazine Stadium, we have hot dogs and popcorn, peanuts, soda, and nachos. But what if, say, you are only 3 months old and mom wants to have a night out and watch the Barnstormers? Well, thanks to May Grant Obstetrics and Gynecology, the littlest of Stormer fans now have a place to go for dinner during the game. Tots can take mom to the Little Sluggers dugout behind Section 13 at the stadium for a comfortable private feeding experience. A brightly painted room with comfortable furniture and TVs tuned to the game, it is the perfect spot for baby and mom during a night at the ballpark.
Third inning of baseball at Caramount Health Park. Gastonia looking to draw even in the series. The Barnstormers need to rally to go ahead 2-0. 2-0 Gastonia here tonight. It'll be Devon Torrance leading off for the Barnstormers. Switch-hitting outfielder getting his first chance to play. He was not involved in the game at all last night. Torrance coming off a 2021 season in which he finished at .258. 5 doubles, 3 triples, no home runs, 26 runs batted in. He stole 26 bases. He got off to a great start on the opening road trip last year. A tough out in North Carolina. He pushes a bunt, but reading it brilliantly was Roman, and Torrance is cut down easily. 5-3, and there's 1 away here in the 3rd inning. Roman saw instantly, an instinct was triggered that Torrance was about to lay down a bunt, and the third baseman just came bolting in to make the play. So there's 1 out here in the 3rd inning. Melvin Mercedes back around for the 2nd time. He went down swinging, the first of 5 in a row for the starter, Deck McGuire, at the start of tonight's ball game. Here's the pitch. Mercedes takes low, and it is ball 1-0. Barnstormers with the 2 singles last inning by Cordero and Clark. Nothing really cheap about either one. And Melvin, that's ruled a strike on the inside corner. Mercedes getting his belt buckle out of the way, but the pitch came across the front edge. Here's a 1-1. Mercedes with a swing and a miss for a 2nd strike. Gets 1 and 2. Trace Lair, the shortstop, waits on deck. McGuire trying to reestablish the kind of control he had back in the 1st inning. 2 singles and a wild pitch last frame. Mercedes looks to fastball away. 2 balls and 2 strikes here in the Barnstormers half of the 3rd inning with 1 out, nobody on base. Lights are on as the shadows creep out from behind the plate. Not quite to the pitcher's mound at this stage. The 6:15 start time here in Gastonia. The kick, McGuire to the plate, and Mercedes swings and misses. He's gone on strikes for a 2nd time. And if you followed Melvin over the last couple of years, you know that is a hard thing to do. Mercedes with 44 walks a year ago and only 32 strikeouts. McGuire has handled him well so far. 2 are away. Here is Lair. He struck out the first time up as well. And the pitch, big swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Andretti Cordero broke the ice last inning with a line drive base hit off a broken bat. Then Clark, a clean line drive single into center. Lair Swings and misses, and it's 0-2. Sometimes this time of day can be a little bit difficult to hit in, but I think this is more the McGuire effect than a glare effect. At Southern Maryland, you'll see a tremendous number of strikeouts during this time frame. Breaking ball, misses away. Good spot for McGuire, and Lair leaned, but he didn't go. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody aboard here in the third inning. 2-0 Gastonia on the Roman 2-out homer last frame. And Lair rolls this toward the middle. Reinheimer is there. And it's a quick 1-2-3 inning for the Gastonia right-hander here in the third. Nothing across for the Barnstormers through 2.5 tonight. Here in North Carolina, the Honey Hunters 2 and the Barnstormers nothing.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
We head to the bottom of the third here at Caramount Health Park. Second of a 4-game series, 6:15 tomorrow night and 4:15 on Sunday. Barnstormers with an off day coming up on Monday. It'll be spent down here in North Carolina. Unless you want to try and convince the 30 or so of us in the traveling party that we should spend 8.5 hours driving back after the Sunday game and 7 hours back down to High Point for the start of the series on Tuesday. That's an argument I'm not going to take up. So the off day will be spent Monday in Greensboro, and then we'll open up a 3-game set against the Rockers on Tuesday. That's the one day on this trip where there might be some question about the weather. Here is Johnny Davis, who walked, stole second, and was stranded at third the first time up, and he draws ball 1 from DeSabatino here. 1 ball, no strikes, 2-0 Gastonia. Deck McGuire shutting down the Barnstormers the first 3 innings. Big swing and a miss against DeSabatino. 1 ball and a strike. The stadium radar gun clocking that pitch at 91. Dominic with the 1-1 offering. Pulled the string a bit there. Faded it away, and Davis followed it. Swung and missed. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. On deck, the shortstop Reinheimer, and then Jarrett, the right fielder. 1 ball, 2 strikes. DeSabatino working quickly, the motion and the pitch. That one stayed outside, and this time Davis tracked it and laid off. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff batter here in the home half of the third inning. The way McGuire is pitching, he should be able to go about 6. Inside, and Davis got hit by it. He's aboard again, and DeSabatino, for the 3rd consecutive inning, has early issues. You walked Davis in the first. Rosa reached on the bloop double, just fair down the left field line in the second, and now Davis hit by a 2-2 slider. Reinheimer will step in, and DeSabatino and Shaver have to figure out some way to contain Johnny Davis. They did catch Rosa leaving too soon in the second inning last night. DeSabatino to the plate, low and away. Davis takes off belatedly. Shaver has to let him go. The pitch was down low, and we'll get a ruling on that one. I think he went after the pitch was in the dirt. That probably should be a wild pitch, but it's tough to gauge. You almost have to go back and look at a split screen there. So we'll get you the ruling on it. Meanwhile, it's 1-0, and for the third straight inning, DeSabatino has a runner at second base with nobody out. Reinheimer bats at 1-0. DeSabatino's pitch just away, and a 2-0 count. Davis has a very good chance of leading this league in stolen bases. He hasn't necessarily been the highest percentage base stealer in his career. The offering, good breaking ball swung at and missed. 2 balls and 1 strike on Reinheimer. There was one year early in Davis's career where he was caught stealing 21 times. It was when he was in Single A in the Midwest League, 32 for 53 that year. He's gotten better in the Mexican League in 19. He was 54 for 67. That's a little better than 80%. Slider grazes that outer edge, and it's now 2-2. Well, when you combine affiliated play with the Mexican League, he's stolen 234 and been caught 80. Little less than 3/4 of the time he's been successful. Reinheimer bats 2-2. DeSabatino is low and outside likely as well. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Zach Jarrett, the right fielder, waiting on deck. Gastonia leading 2-0 in the bottom half of the third inning. DeSabatino has to keep the Barnstormers within arm's length here. Deck McGuire has sawed through the Lancaster batting order in the first 3 innings, retiring 9 of 11. He did get into some 2-out trouble back in the second. Consecutive hits followed by a wild pitch, but the Barnstormers could not parlay that into anything. 2-0 the score with the runner at second, nobody out. Three balls, 2 strikes to Reinheimer. This is a big pitch. DeSabatino looks back to Davis. Here's the offering. Ground ball, third base. Not going to be able to move the runner. Felice pegs it across the diamond. Reinheimer goes down 5-3. Davis stays parked at second for the time being. Flashes are on, though. He's behind the wheel and ready to move if allowed. Zach Jarrett steps in. He fly to center back in the first inning. That fly ball took Clark far enough back for Davis to easily motor ahead to third. 1 out with the man in scoring position. I'm going to decline to mention the Gastonia numbers with runners in scoring position tonight because the last time I brought it up, the next pitch was clubbed out of the ballpark. The offering and a ball. It is 1-0 on Jarrett. DeSabatino has made some great pitches tonight. He has struck out 3. He's battled. Having a tough start to innings, and then the home run cost him in the second. 1 ball and nothing. Swing and a miss as the right-handed batting Jarrett went after the DeSabatino sidearm slider. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. When the leadoff man reaches base, it greatly increases the opportunity for the team at the plate to score. And the offering, ground ball, this one to the shortstop. Throwing on the run is Lair, and Cordero can't scoop it up, and this will allow Davis to come all the way around and score He was going to head to third on that ground ball. Lair with the sidearm throw across the diamond. It dove, and Cordero couldn't pick it. So that will be an E6 on the throw. No RBI, but now it's 3-0 in favor of the Honey Hunters, with Stuart Levy, the first baseman, stepping in. Jarrett stayed in place at first. The ball didn't get that far away from Cordero, but it was far enough that the fleet-footed Davis could round and score. 3-0, the Barnstormers trail. Here's a pitch and another ground ball for Lair. Similar spot. He'll go to second for one. Mercedes back to first. And the Barnstormers turn their first double play of the year. 6-4-3 on that twin killing. But again, it's a run for Gastonia. This one will be unearned to DeSabatino. 1 run, no hits. There was an error and nobody left on base. We've concluded 3 at Caramount Health Park with the score: Gastonia 3 and the Barnstormers nothing.
There is a weekend in July where the baseball world revolves around a village in upstate New York. Baseball Hall of Fame induction weekend in Cooperstown is an unforgettable experience full of family-friendly activities and priceless moments. Make your plans today for July 22nd through 25th for the induction of Bud Fowler, Gil Hodges, Jim Cott, Minnie Minoso, Tony Oliva, Buck O'Neill, and David Ortiz as the class of 2022. Visit baseballhall.org today for the
Hey kids, join the coolest club in town, the Storm Force. The Storm Force is presented by the Lancaster Barnstormers and Commonwealth Charter Academy. For only $25, kids under 12 get an entire summer of Barnstormers fun with 12 game tickets, a t-shirt and bag, the chance to go first when kids run the bases, exclusive activities, and coupons from Dutch Wonderland, Chocolate World, and more. Don't miss out on all the fun. Go to LancasterBarnstormers.com and sign up.
Welcome back from Gastonia, North Carolina. The Honey Hunters tonight, 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and just 1 runner left on base. And for the Barnstormers, no runs, 2 hits with an error, and Lancaster has left 2 on the base paths. Anderson Felice, Colton Shaver, and Mark Zagunis scheduled for Lancaster against Deck McGuire in the top half of the 4th inning. McGuire has struck out 6. He has allowed the 2 Barnstormers base hits consecutively stroked back in the 2nd inning. Felice, one of the strikeout victims, back in the first. First pitch fouled away, and it is 0-1. Mercedes with 2 base hits on the year for the Barnstormers. Cordero now with 2, and Clark with 2. The wine, the McGuire offering, foul tipped and held. Second strike on Felice as McGuire continues to be masterful in the early going tonight. Here's the 0-2. Fastball, and it just missed. Ball 1, 2 strikes. The pitch count is respectably low for McGuire at this stage. I have him at 44. And the 1-2. Felice swings. He drives the ball out to right field. That is down and hopping to the wall. Jarrett will retrieve. Felice pulls in at second with the throw-off line and a leadoff double for the Barnstormers' third baseman here in the 4th inning. Felice joining the party with 2 hits on the year. It was going to take him and Cordero perhaps a little bit to get up to speed after missing the first few days of spring training, trying to get into the States. But they are 2 that will produce. Runner at second base for the Barnstormers, and Colton Shaver will be the hitter. Shaver out on strikes his first time up. Zagunis and Cordero to follow. The Barnstormers looking to get at least one of these runs back. Outside to Shaver, and a good backhanded stop made by Holderback. 1-0. Felice has some wheels, but at this point, you don't want to risk the out. Figure you can score from second base. You should be able to with nobody out. Gastonia has done it in 2 of the 3 innings so far. Swing and a miss. Shaver batting at a ball and a strike. He had such a tremendous exhibition season, did Shaver. 4 extra base hits in the 5 games with a couple of highly impressive home runs. But at the outset of the regular campaign, he is having his share of battles. 1 ball, 1 strike to Colton. McGuire to the plate, and it breaks just off the outside corner. 2-1. McGuire's pitch count is just reaching 50. DeSabatino at 50 through 3 innings. And McGuire now through 3+. Runner at second, nobody out. Shaver with a foul ball back. And things square to the Barnstormers' big catcher. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I'm curious, and I haven't had a chance to ask Colton about this, but with his Utah upbringing and the fact that he went to Brigham Young, you would think that perhaps he's a Mormon. Did he go on the mission that most of them do? Ground ball to the first baseman, a squibber Levy will handle. And at the very least, that advances Felice to third base. He's there with 1 out. Mark Zagunis will try to pick up his first RBI of the year. The Barnstormers last night, 2 for 2, getting runners home from third base with fewer than 2 outs. And if you've been a Barnstormers fan and you've tuned in over the years, you know that is one of my favorite stats. Give yourself up. Get that run home. Felice, the man 90 feet away. Zagunis stands in. Defense spread out and playing back. They will concede the run to Zagunis outside. It is ball 1 and no strikes. Now, you're not going to be successful every single time, but you should be able to do it somewhere between 60 and 70% of the time. It generally is the acceptable level. One of the years Caleb Gindel was with the Barnstormers, he was operating over 90%. Fastball to the outside corner, called strike 1-1, and he prided himself on his ability to do that. You at least want that ground ball to the middle infielders or a fly ball halfway back into the outfield to get the run across at this stage. You'd love the base hit. By the way, if you walk, it doesn't count against you. The pitch, and Zagunis skies this on the right side, but it's not very deep. Jarrett will come in. He'll make the catch, and that is not deep enough to produce Felice with the run. So the Barnstormers now leave this in the hands of Andretti Cordero. 2 outs, and Felice still waiting for the Uber driver to come and get him from third. Or Lyft, or taxi, or city bus. We do not play favorites. Cordero with a busted bat single over the head of the shortstop Reinheimer, his first time up. McGuire to the plate, and that is lined up the middle, base hit center field. And Anderson Felice jogs home with the Barnstormers' first run as Cordero, who was a highly productive Double-A hitter 3 years ago in the Rangers organization, knocks home the first Lancaster run of the game and gets Ladarius Clark to the plate. Clark with a solid single into center back in the second inning. Cordero with the RBI base hit, plating Felice. It's now 3-1 in the top of the 4th inning. Clark trying to add more. McGuire, big deep breath, fastball challenges Clark, and he swings and misses. No balls and 1 strike. 4 hits now for the Barnstormers, which, considering how McGuire started the night, you've got to tip your cap to these guys for being able to get this much done. Cordero certainly has the best idea out there. Swung on and missed by Ladarius, and it is 0-2. Rosa and Cordero in this series now with 3 hits apiece. Andretti leading from first base. And Clark pops this up, foul ground. Holderback jogs after it, but no play. Still 0-2. You would expect a guy named Andretti somehow to be fast, but extra base power, not so much big home run power, but extra base power is more Andretti Cordero's game. I mean, if you were fast, you just think of the whole race car theme, call him Mario. If you were a Darian Sanford type player. In the dirt, knocked down off the chest protector of Holderback, and ball 1 to Ladarius Clark. It is 1-2, even if he had Ladarius Clark's speed. Well, you could make so much out of it in a marketing sense. But no, more of a power type hitter. Big run producer. And he has here in the 4th inning. 1-2 to Clark. Ground ball left side. Pinched off by the third baseman. Roman spins and throws and just gets Ladarius Clark. Ball came up a bit on Luis Roman, and he had to get off that throw in a hurry after doing a 360 and just cut down Clark at the first base bag. The Barnstormers are on the board, though. They pick up 1 run on 2 hits with no errors and a man left on base. Andretti Cordero picking up Anderson Felice with the RBI single up the middle. We'll go to the bottom half of the 4th inning with our score now. The Gastonia Honey Hunters 3 and the Lancaster Barnstormers 1.
Hi everyone, Adam Gockenauer from Gockenauer Appliances, and I'm excited to tell you about a new addition to the Gockenauers family this summer season. We are now selling Titus Gas Grills. Titus Gas Grills gives you a high quality, all stainless steel grill at an affordable price, and the best thing is you can assemble it yourself in just 5 minutes. That's right, 5 minutes. Stop by to see this great grill now and mention this ad to receive a free gas grill cover with your Titus Grill purchase. Gockenauers in East Petersburg.
Pennsylvanians are creating their own soundtrack thanks to PA Lottery Scratch-Off's Excitement's back. Pennies, nickels, dimes, or quarters, no matter your choice, scratching's always in order. With big top prizes and second chance drawings, thrills await. They're out there calling. If it's excitement you seek and you're looking for action, play the PA Lottery. And keep on scratching. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Dave Collins with you from Caramount Health Park in Gastonia, North Carolina. The Barnstormers trail the host Honey Hunters by a score of 3-1 now going into the home 4th inning. The task at hand immediately for Dominic DeSabatino, get the leadoff batter. He has not done so thus far in the game. He's pitched ultimately very well after the first batter of each inning, but he walked Davis in the first, got out of that with the runner stranded at third, allowed the bloop double to Rosa in the second, and 3 batters later, Roman hit the home run last inning. He hit Johnny Davis with a pitch, and Davis eventually scored an unearned marker. Here is Rosa, 1 for 1 tonight, 3 for 5 in the series. The DeSabatino pitch runs outside. It is ball 1 and no strikes. I like the looks of Dom's stuff here tonight. He's got good velocity and terrific movement. Ball 1-0, and it is wide of the plate again, 2-0. The count on Rosa. Take a look at the other games around the Atlantic League tonight with 4 other contests going on. 2-0. That is cut on and missed. DeSabatino back in the fight at 2-1. Staten Island and Charleston into the top half of the 3rd inning. No score there. Southern Maryland owns a 2-0 lead over Lexington through 2. York up 1-0 over Long Island behind Alex Sanabia. They're in the second inning. Popped up behind the plate. Shaver coming straight back where there isn't so much room, and he can't make a play. It's on the other side of the screen. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And High Point, which rallied late last night, leading Wild Health 1-0. Play is in the top half of the 4th inning at Truist Point. Eli Villanueva, the former Barnstormer, is now the player coach for Wild Health. He followed his manager from a year ago, Mark Minikazi from Charleston. Billy Horn now at the helm of the Dirty Birds. That is cut on and fouled away. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes on Rosa. 3-1, Gastonia leading in this contest, bottom half of the 4th inning. A full slate of games tonight. York and Long Island took the night off last night. The Ducks wanted to open the home schedule on a Friday. There's a ball smashed just outside the bag at first, beyond the reach of Cordero, who's playing pretty close to the line. And the first base umpire, Sempert, right on top of it. Once again, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The offering coming to Joseph Rosa. And the pitch, fastball, that is slapped foul down the left side and onto some decking over that way. Rosa has been a difficult out in this series for Barnstormers pitching. And who played 7 years, not necessarily 7 full seasons because of the pandemic, but 7 years in the Seattle system. Got to AAA, career .265 hitter. Looks like a good pickup for Gastonia. 2-2. DeSabatino deals. This ball is grounded toward the middle. There's Mercedes, and he'll make the play and get the out on Rosa. Melvin Mercedes, who has as good a range as any second baseman we've tracked in this league. Able to make that play toward the middle, going wide to his right. 1 out. Finally, DeSabatino is able to get the leadoff batter in an inning. Now, Reese Hampton stepping in. Hampton, a strikeout victim, back in the second. 1 of 3 so far tonight for Dom. Mercedes is so much fun to watch with the glove. And it's worth noting, we'll get to the thought in a second here, outside for a ball 1-0. But Mercedes has had a tough night at the plate. He has struck out twice. It's very unusual for Melvin. Doesn't take it out into the field with him. He just made a play to help his pitcher to start off this half inning. Smash to first. Right there is Cordero. Tough pickup, an easy play from there. 2 gone. Trejo, the designated hitter, will step in. He grounded out Cordero to DeSabatino covering. I have heard, and certainly tonight does not do anything to undo the story that I did hear, that Cordero is also wonderful with the mitt. He couldn't quite dig out that low throw from Lair, but they say on ground balls he's quite something too. Called strike out of the outside corner to Trejo. It's 0-1, so we know what Felice can do at third. I think that's Anderson's best position from what I saw back in 15. You've got Lair, you've got Mercedes, you've got Hoover, who's ailing a bit tonight. A little bit of a turned ankle, swing and a miss, nothing major. It felt a lot better today, but the Barnstormers want to be cautious with Jake for a day or two. Cordero can field. This is a great infield defense, one of the best this club has had in some time. Here's the pitch. Ground ball left side. Felice going after that. He snaps it up. Look at this defense. Throw across the diamond. Trejo is retired, and the Barnstormers' glove work steps to the forefront here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Nothing across for Gastonia. And now through 4 tonight here at Caramount Health Park, it is still 3-1 in favor of the Honey Hunters.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
After a terrific defensive display in the bottom half of the fourth inning, the Barnstormers will step in the fifth. Deck McGuire remaining on the hill for the Gastonia Honey Hunters will be facing Anthony Peroni, Devon Torrance, and then Melvin Mercedes. Really, really exceptional glove work. And Mercedes going wide to the right. Cordero flawlessly handling a BB at his feet. And then Felice going wide left, getting the side in order in the bottom of the fourth inning. Here's Peroni. Anthony grounded out back in the second. Lancaster down by 2. McGuire into his motion. And a Peroni strike on the inside corner. About letter high or so. No balls, 1 strike to the Barnstormer DH for the second straight night. And another strike, this time on the outside edge, as McGuire is working Peroni over with great location here in the top of the fifth inning. The kick and the offering spins onto the rug. Ball 1, 2 strikes to Peroni, 1 out of 5 on the season now. Looks like action is about to start in the Gastonia bullpen, and it's about that time. The pitch count about 60. Another ball down into the rubber pellets. 2 balls, 2 strikes. If you've watched the games from the artificial surfaces in High Point or Gastonia, you know there are those tiny little black rubber pellets that kick up on just about any play. Here's a 2-2. Peroni able to beat it foul. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. They're not visible from back off the field until you watch them spray up like dirt would do if you were playing on a dirt surface. Here's a 2-2. Chopper, this one will be a fair ball. And Roman guns down Peroni 5-3 from right at the third base bag. 1 gone. Devon Torrance will come to the plate. And there is a noticeable rubber smell when you're out on the artificial turf field. It's one of those things that I guess the players who are out there all the time would become nose blind to, but especially on hotter days, there's a detectable smell. It's not pleasant, nor is it unpleasant. It's just there. Ball outside to Torrance, 1-0. Devon handled by the third baseman Roman, who's fielded his position very well tonight. Torrance laid down a bunt the first time up, and Roman was right there. Here's the 1-0, and Torrance will stare at a strike. The count levels at 1 apiece. Barnstormers trailing 3-1, top half of the fifth inning. They got 1 run back in the fourth on a double by Felice and a single by Cordero. Torrance swings and misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So there is a lefty warming up in the bullpen for Gastonia. This is Michael Gunn getting ready. Torrance chases an off-speed pitch. He's gone on strikes. That is 7. for the right-handed starter. You have to think that McGuire is unlikely to be around this league terribly long. The only thing that would work against him being picked up out of the Atlantic League is his age. He is 32, but I certainly would expect, watching him pitch here tonight, to see that news come across that his contract has been purchased at some point. Breaking ball is high, 1-0. It will happen. May is generally signing month. Fastball is up 2-0. I think you see more contracts purchased probably in the month of May than at any other time. Last year, that was preseason and really hurt the Barnstormers badly with the disappearance of the starting rotation. 2-0. Strike on the inside corner to get to 2-1. There are more players available this year. I think if somebody should happen to go down for whatever reason, injury or line just past Ross, and Mercedes bats at 2-2, a contract purchased, an injury, somebody forced into retirement due to life circumstances, I think it'd be easier to replace than a year ago. Mercedes batting with 2 outs, nobody on. The count to him is 2 balls and 2 strikes from McGuire. The right-hander peers in. He has the sign, kicks, fires, and Mercedes lines it to Roman. Luis Roman able to go up and make the catch. Hard hit ball by Melvin Mercedes, but he comes up dry. Nothing doing for the Barnstormers in the top half of the 5th inning. We're halfway through regulation tonight. 4.5 are in the books. It is still Gastonia 3 and Lancaster 1.
Lancaster County Motors Subaru once again presents the Subaru Outdoor Experience. Located along the first base line, this space welcomes fans to a different experience while attending games. The Subaru Outdoor Experience focuses on creating social engagement among the fans. Fans will identify with the Subaru Outdoor Experience, which includes games like life-size Jenga, shuffleboard, ping pong, giant checkers, and bocce ball, along with an art wall of kayak, bike, and recycling arts parts and information, a dog-kissing booth, a barbershop corner, and opportunities to engage with the local business that made this unique space possible. Come enjoy the games while watching the game.
Rock with the 5-time Tony Award-nominated musical Rock of Ages at Dutch Apple Dinner Theater, April 22nd through May 14th. When a development company plans to turn the Sunset Strip into another strip mall, it's up to a group of wannabe rockers to save the day and the music. With music from Styx, Bon Jovi, Poison, and more, Rock of Ages features all your favorite 80s rock anthems and power ballads. How can you resist? Call 717-898-1900 or visit DutchApple.com to reserve your tickets today.
How great is it on our commercials to hear the familiar voices of Tom Richards and John Whitmer? I had a chance to have lunch with those two, not only outstanding voices, but great people as well. Very, very good friends of mine. We all got together for lunch back on Wednesday before the team headed out of town. John will be back in his seat as the great public address announcer, the only main public address announcer we've had in our franchise history. And Tom will most nights be at the controls of the sounds of the stadium. Opening night, a week from tonight. We'll all be back together outside for a ball to the man who's made the difference in this game, Luis Roman. A 2-run homer against Sabatino back in the second. 3-1. Gastonia leading. Here's the pitch, and Dom is inside and low, ball 2. He really has had a hard time getting his innings started here tonight. Got out of the leadoff batter being on base last inning when Mercedes made a nice play toward the middle. Here's a 2-0. Roman swings and belts it foul just off of the third base side. 2 balls and 1 strike to the third baseman, who is exclusively a left-handed batter. Roman from Ponce, Puerto Rico. He is 27 years of age. 2 balls, 1 strike from the 6'4" Dominic DeSabatino. Here's the motion and the pitch. It's outside, ball 3. 3-1. Alex Holderbach, the catcher on deck. Then the lineup spins over to Johnny Davis at the top. Jake Skoll had been coaching first base earlier tonight. Now it looks like Connor Owings, who was the first baseman in last night's game, is out there. Strike 2 called at the knees. Now there was a situation, and this is something I talked to our coaching staff about, because while I was having lunch with John and Tom the other day, we called Buzz Albert because something came up. He's free to run on that pitch, but he runs at his own risk. Here's the 3-2, and Roman will get the leadoff walk. But one of my concerns about this drop pitch rule is this scenario. And I told our coach, you got to warn the guys about this, because this could come up. You run at your own peril on a dropped pitch. What if you think you have ball 4 and start to head to first base? And just like that it was a called strike, but it was dropped by Colton Shaver. If Roman had thought he had the walk, could have headed toward first base, and could conceivably have been called out. And you do run at your own risk, so the interpretation of it is make sure that it's called ball 4 before you leave. It's an interesting wrinkle, potentially, to that rule. It hasn't come up. It didn't come up in 19, but that possibility is there. Inside for a ball on Holderbach. It is 1-0, and Shaver will go out to have a word with DeSabatino, and this should count as a timeout, and now Mark Johnson is going to join the conversation. DeSabatino working in the 5th inning. He's already walked Roman. He's at 1 ball and no strikes on Alex Holderbach. Barnstormers down by 2. You certainly don't want to drop behind by any more than that. Dominic DeSabatino has thrown 70 pitches. Cameron Gann was into the low 80s last night. I think he finished at 83 in his 4 2/3 innings. The new Barnstormers pitching coach has had his say with some instructions here in the 5th inning. Also checking in on how DeSabatino is feeling here in his first start. McGuire is likely to come out with the left-hander Gunn, having been warming up in the bullpen at one point. McGuire at 76 pitches, and typically for the first start, that is enough. 1 ball, no strikes on Holderbach. The runner, Roman, leads off first. He's going to go. The pitch is swung on and lined foul. Roman will have to make a U-turn. 1-1 on the former Houston Astros farmhand, Alex Holderbach. The 2-run homer by Roman in the 2nd, an unearned run in the 3rd for the Honey Hunters. The Barnstormers able to score in the 4th inning on a double to right by Felice and a single to center by Cordero. Nothing cheap about either of those hits. 1-1. It is inside. Holderbach gains an advantage. 2-1 the count. Again, tough to quite see into the Barnstormers bullpen. I can't see who is throwing, but with a better angle tonight, I can see that somebody is. 2-1. Robert Rosado down there tuning somebody up. DeSabatino from a different angle is low and outside. He's 3-1 on Holderbach with Johnny Davis waiting on deck. And I can't look around far enough. There actually is one of those backdrops for press conferences and photographs with the staggered Gastonia Honey Hunters logos that's actually obstructing my view. Maybe they could move that a foot to the side. Here's the pitch, and DeSabatino walks his 2nd in a row. Roman and Holderbach are aboard. The 2nd and 3rd walks given up by DeSabatino tonight, and Ross is on his way out. Well, that'll be it for DeSabatino. again, with the exception of having trouble getting his innings started, he made some great pitches along the way. But he will depart after allowing just 2 hits over 4+ innings of work. He has walked 3 along with 3 strikeouts, 1 hit batter, and at this stage, 3 runs, 2 earned. Roman and Holderbach belong to him, though. The Barnstormers go to the bullpen. We'll tell you who's coming in just a moment, but first, this.
For the youth of our area, the Barnstormers are offering a wide variety of camps throughout the summer to teach everyone some tips on baseball and softball. Camps are offered to kids as young as 4 and as old as 12. Some even involve the parents. They run from June 11th all the way through September 17. For more information, go to LancasterBarnstormers.com and click on the Youth Baseball tab. All presented by Orthopedic Associates of Lancaster and Play It Again Sports.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Connect with events that have shaped and changed the game and our country. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org. See you in Cooperstown, where the journey becomes legend.
He takes over for the Barnstormers here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and he inherits a problem. Runners are at first and second with nobody out. DeSabatino walking the first 2 batters in the 5th. After watching Dom all last year, and a guy who had a great start on camp day against High Point, where he struck out 11, which until Cameron Gann tied it a few weeks later, stood as the season high by a Barnstormer. But DeSabatino is at his best when he's getting ground balls. He had a 2-inning stretch tonight. The 3rd and the 4th, 6 consecutive batters hit the ball on the ground, and that's when DeSabatino is in a pretty good rhythm. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to maintain that rhythm into the 5th inning, walking Roman and Holderbach, and now the switch-hitting Johnny Davis steps in from the right side of the plate against the veteran lefty Tommy Shirley. Tries to bunt, pops it up foul out of play. No balls and 1 strike. Tommy Shirley from the Pittsburgh area. He is now, this is hard to believe, he is 33 years of age. 6'5", 220 pounds, newly engaged. Man who first came to the Barnstormers several years ago, 2016, I believe it was. So he has been in and out for some time, went to Southern Maryland. It was, in fact, 17 when he came to the Barnstormers. Here's a pitch, and Davis backs out of the way. It is ball 1 and a strike. Then returned to Lancaster a year ago. He was 3-2. He was off to a great start and then injured his shoulder and missed a couple of months of the season and never really recovered. He won 3 straight starts as a Barnstormer back in May of 2018, 5 innings in each. Later on that year, Ross traded him to Stan down in Southern Maryland. 1 ball, 1 strike, a check swing on an off-speed delivery, and Shirley misses, and now he trails Davis. 2 balls and a strike. Roman and Holderbach already on base, nobody out in the bottom of the 5th, and the fans here in Gastonia thinking, boy, we might be able to give ourselves some breathing room. Felice and Cordero creep in from the corners. The 2-1 swinging away as Davis, 1 hopper to Mercedes, out at second. He throws to first to double him up. 4-3 on the double play. Tommy Shirley needs 4 pitches. The Honey Hunters go away from the bunt and have the hit and run perhaps on. I don't think it was a true hit and run, but it was that kind of a swing. And there was Melvin again, ready to turn that into 2. And Gastonia is left with Roman at third and 2 outs. That is a huge outcome for the Barnstormers on that at bat. Here's the shortstop, Jack Reinheimer. He's 0 for 2 tonight after being perfect last night. He looks at a strike from Shirley. It is 0-1. Tommy has altered his mechanics, gotten rid of a lot of unnecessary motion over the last few years, and he really looked tremendous at the outset of last year. He'll bring it. There's a check swing by Reinheimer. He did go, says Nick Sempert on the appeal. It is 0-2. 2 outs with Roman over at third base. This has been a very common circumstance facing the Barnstormers pitching staff tonight. 2 outs and the runner at third. It happened in the first, it happened in the second, and now again in the 5th inning. DeSabatino got out of it in the first inning, gave up the home run to Roman in the second. Shirley is ahead of Reinheimer at no balls and 2 strikes. Roman up the line from third. Shirley, will he try to end it here, or does he waste a pitch? Here it comes. It's wasted high and tight. Ball 1 and 2 strikes. Shirley got to AAA with the Astros in 15 and 16, and then found his way over to the Detroit organization. He was at Erie a couple of years. There's a swing and a miss. And Reinheimer goes down. I was about to say that he was there a couple of years before Mark Johnson got there as the pitching coach. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. Tommy Shirley doing a terrific job coming on in relief, keeping the Barnstormers within striking distance. We'll go to the 6th inning with our score, Gastonia 3 and Lancaster 1.
This season offers a whole line of new items from Otto's Hospitality. Dig into the world-famous Nathan's Hot Dogs. Take a trip to Otto's Cantina for a walking taco or your favorite adult beverage. Enjoy a helmet of Otto's meatballs or a sausage with peppers from the Broken Bat Deck. For the sweet tooth, there are jumbo chocolate chip cookies, Skyline cotton candy, and ice cream novelties. Or simply snack on Emma's popcorn in a variety of exciting flavors. What a great way to savor your time at the ballpark, courtesy of Otto's.
There is a weekend in July where the baseball world revolves around a village in upstate New York. Baseball Hall of Fame induction weekend in Cooperstown is an unforgettable experience full of family-friendly activities and priceless moments. Make your plans today for July 22nd through 25th for the induction of Bud Fowler, Gil Hodges, Jim Cott, Minnie Minoso, Tony Oliva, Buck O'Neill, and David Ortiz as the class of 2022. Visit baseballhall.org today for the
Well, one of the great names for a pitcher you could think of, Michael Gunn, has come on in the 6th inning in relief of Deck McGuire. McGuire certainly a rock solid tonight for Gastonia. 5 innings, 4 hits and a run with no walks, 7 strikeouts. He did serve up a wild pitch. And now gives way to this southpaw from Wilson, Arkansas, and the University of Arkansas. Gunn, 6'1", 220 pounds, 29 years of age. He pitched in the Red Sox organization in 2014 and 2015, and he has bounced around the partner leagues since that time. He was in the Frontier League with River City in 2016, went to the Pacific Association in 17. And in 18, 19, and 21, he pitched for Cleburne, Texas, in the American Association. And he was a starter there with a combined 12-12 record. Then in the shorter season in the pandemic year of 2020, where there was no Cleburne Ball Club, he was allowed to join Sioux Falls and appeared 4 times out of the bullpen for the Canaries. We go to the top of the 6th, 3-1 our score. And here is Trace Lair, who has struck out and grounded out against McGuire. Left on left. Lair, widespread stance, awaiting the first delivery. Gunn brings it home and connects with the fastball for a called strike. It is 0-1. Arkansas has one of the finer programs in college baseball. He was a reliever for the Razorbacks exclusively. Here comes the 0-1 to Lair, and Trace with a ground ball headed toward the middle. Diving try by Rosa comes up short. And the Barnstormers have their leadoff man aboard here in the 6th inning. Lair with a base hit for the second night in a row. That'll bring on Felice. Anderson will turn around to bat from the right side of the plate. Switch hitters can run hot and cold from the different sides of the plate, and it certainly appears that Felice is more in a groove from the left side at this point than from the right side. Trying to add to this inning here. Lair is on board, being held by Levy over at first base. Gunn to the plate. Felice with a swing and a foul at the dish. No balls and 1 strike. Anderson struck out back in the 1st inning and then doubled to right and scored the run back in the 4th. I'm so used to having somebody named Anderson on our ball club, with Anderson De La Rosa having been with us from 17 through last year, and then Anderson Felice in 15. We were Andersonless in 16, and of course we had John Anderson on the staff from 17 through 19. Into the dirt, blocked by Holderbach. Felice batting at 1 ball and 1 strike. And the Barnstormers have certainly had a tremendous amount of success over these last several years with people named Anderson. Felice was the first. Well, he's got the dreads working, the beard working. 1-1. Ground ball left side. That will be cut off by Roman out at second base. And the relay throw from Rosas in time for the double play. 5, 4, 3, and 2 very quick outs. The Barnstormers will have to get something reignited with Colton Shaver stepping in. Shaver still looking for his first hit of the regular season, as is the man on deck, Mark Zagunis. Kelly Dugan still down with a minor muscle tweak. It's nothing major at all. And got the impression last night Kelly is chomping at the bit to play, but at the same time, this early in the season, you don't want to risk a bigger injury that's going to put you on the shelf for a significant period. Called strike on the outside corner to Shaver. It is 0-1. 2 outs, nobody on. Top of the 6th, 3-1 Gastonia. With the exception of the 1 bad throw by Lair, this has been a very well-defended game. No balls and a strike. Gunn has the sign from Holderbach, left-hander ready to go. And Shaver with a swing and a miss. 0-2. Zagunis waiting on deck. The Barnstormers looking for certainly something out of these two. Catcher out of AAA and Zagunis, a AAA to Major League hitter. And you know they both will produce. But off to sluggish starts here. Lancaster did not need them last night. And the 0-2. Shaver goes down swinging. A leadoff base hit by Trace Lohr, providing some promise here in the 6th, but nothing ever really developed. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We're through 5.5 at Caramount Health Park. It's still 3-1 Gastonia.
Being over 55 does not mean a ticket, it means 10 with the Silver Stormers Club, presented by the Lancaster Barnstormers and Audiology Associates of Lancaster. Anyone 55 and over can enjoy baseball action at every Tuesday home game for only $50 on the season. That is nearly a 70% savings. Members also receive a special Silver Stormers t-shirt to wear proudly at the stadium. For more information or to sign up, go to LancasterBarnstormers.com and look in the season tickets section.
Rock with the 5-time Tony Award-nominated musical Rock of Ages at Dutch Apple Dinner Theater, April 22nd through May 14th. When a development company plans to turn the Sunset Strip into another strip mall, it's up to a group of wannabe rockers to save the day and the music. With music from Styx, Bon Jovi, Poison, and more, Rock of Ages features all your favorite 80s rock anthems and power ballads. How can you resist? Call 717-898-1900 or visit DutchApple.com to reserve your tickets today.
Tommy Shirley stranded the two inherited runners last inning, and now will try to take care of Gastonia on his own here in the bottom half of the sixth. A 3-1 ball game. The Barnstormers have out-hit Gastonia 5-2. But both Gastonia hits have been for extra bases, the double and the home run, and they came in the same inning. The other Honey Hunters run came without the benefit of a base hit. It was a hit batter, wild pitch, and a throwing error, enabling Johnny Davis to score in the third inning. 3-1, bottom six, and here is the right fielder, Zach Jarrett, was flied to center, and he was the man who reached on that one low throw by Lair. His ball just sank on its way across the diamond. First pitch fouled back off a fastball. It is 0-1. Lair had a chance to play some shortstop in the spring camp. There are so many options with second, short, and third because the Barnstormers have four guys who play all three. Swing and a foul tip. Shirley quickly ahead at 0-2. Mercedes, Lair, Felice, and Hoover play all those four guys play all three of those positions. So you can really mix and match and weave them in and out, get different looks. Fastball is up. And it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes on Zach Jarrett, leading off the bottom half of the sixth inning. Shirley got a double play and a strikeout for the 3 outs in the fifth. Ross could have pulled him, but opted to stick with Shirley, trying to get him through maybe this inning and even the next. Hopper toward the shortstop. Charging the play is Lair. He's got to make this throw, and it is not there in time. Cordero with the stretch, and they fail to get Jarrett on the high bounder to short. Close play at the first base bag, but the leadoff man is on once again for Gastonia. It's the 5th inning out of 6. Bang, bang play, and the call goes in Gastonia's favor. Barnstormers, whose dugout pretty much on top of that, not raising any kind of a stink, so we'll have to believe that call was good. It was really close. Here is Levy, who is 0 for 2 on the night, a swing and a miss against Shirley. It's 0-1. High Baltimore chop play with the number 3 hitter, and Lair was well back at shortstop. The offering, and Shirley is in too close. 1 ball, 1 strike to Levy. Again, Gastonia making some noise like they want to pull away in this game. They haven't been able to. Infield set, double play depth. The Barnstormers have turned 2. Tommy Shirley with an off-speed pitch. That's grounded slowly on the right side. Mercedes will go to second, get 1. Then the throw to first comes off the glove of Andretti Cordero. And fortunately for the Barnstormers, stayed in play. And Levy, who was steaming through the bag, will remain at first. The Barnstormers barely got Jarrett at second base. I had to hold my breath for a second on that call. Maybe it wasn't as close as I thought it was. But Levy now is the runner at first base. The ball hit too slowly to turn 2. Levy safe at first on the fielder's choice. I believe he would have had that beaten out anyway, and then Cordero failed to handle the return throw from Lair. 1 out And here is the second baseman, Joseph Rosa. Called strike on the inside corner. It is 0-1. When you think of the name Rosa in the Atlantic League, you think of Jovan Rosa, the former infielder for Bridgeport and Southern Maryland, and New Britain at one point as well. Here's the pitch. Lollipop breaking ball hangs upstairs. Ball one, strike one. 3-1 Gastonia, 1 out, 1 on. Bottom half of the 6th inning here tonight. Barnstormers taking last night's game, the season opener, 5-2, behind a great combined pitching effort. Shirley looks over. Here's the offering. It's popped up. No play for Colton Shaver. 1-2. On the Major League scoreboard, everything tonight on the Friday. The only possibility of a day game really on a Friday would have been at Wrigley Field, and they've even abandoned that now. They used to play it with 3:40 on a Friday afternoon, 3:20 maybe. St. Louis up 3-0 at Cincinnati in the top of the 5th inning. San Francisco off to a big start, 7-0 over the Washington Nationals at the end of 2. Swung on and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes here on Rosa. 1 out, 1 on in the bottom of the 6th inning here. I guess Jimmy Garoppolo hooked up with a touchdown pass there. Yankees lead Cleveland, the Guardians, 2-0 in the top half of the 4th inning. It's going to take me a while to get used to that name. Milwaukee and Philadelphia 1-1 top 3. Boston up 4-1 over Tampa Bay in the 3rd inning. Bottom of the 2nd, Atlanta with the early 1-0 lead at home against the Marlins. A ball and 2 strikes. Tommy Shirley ready to go, and this is lifted foul ground, third base side. Anderson Felice angling over. He'll reach out and make the play. Defense continues to be pretty strong for the Barnstormers. Felice had to go a long way to track down that foul pop-up into this spacious area off the foul lines here. 2 are gone. And here is the left fielder, Reese Hampton, coming in. Hampton is 0 for 2 tonight. Just getting started, the Pirates at the Cubs, Toronto at Houston, and the White Sox play the Twins at Target Field. Baltimore tonight out in Anaheim against the Angels. Mets are in Arizona. This ball is lined towards center field. Coming on is Clark, and he can only trap the ball. It will be a base hit for Hampton. Great sprawling effort by Ladarius. Unfortunately, the ball didn't get by him. He was able to smother it. Barnstormers tried to sell that one, but the third base umpire, Mario Rosas, was right on it, and it did touch down. Levy stopping at second. Hampton is on at first, and trouble finds its way to Tommy Shirley here in the 6th inning. Cesar Trejo will try to open up the game for Gastonia. Completing the Major League schedule, Mets at Arizona, Dodgers at San Diego, Kansas City at Seattle, Texas at Oakland, Colorado at Detroit was rained out earlier today, or earlier this evening. They made the call. To Trejo, fastball up and away, ball 1, no strikes. Shirley got DeSabatino out of a jam back in the 5th inning, pitched brilliantly. Now he faces one of his own. Jarrett with the high Baltimore chop single. Hampton the liner to center. Clark just could not quite get there. 1 ball and no strikes to Trejo. The pitch stays high for ball 2. And on deck, the man who hit the home run earlier, Luis Roman. And that home run is holding up. 3-1. Gastonia with the lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. First and second with 2 men out. The next offering, that is lined to center also. Over for it goes Clark, and he can only dig this one up, and then the ball hops away from him momentarily, and around to score is Levy to make it 4-1. Ball died on Ladarius. He knocked it down, kept it in front. As soon as it touched down with 2 outs, Levy was going to score. 3 singles in the bottom of the 6th. Gastonia leading 4-1. And the batter will be the lefty hitting third baseman Roman, who has a 2-run homer and a walk in the ball game so far tonight. The infield base hit to start the inning got Gastonia underway. First pitch cut on and missed. It is 0-1. And 2 just misses for Ladarius Clark in center field on these last 2 at-bats. He's got great speed, covers a lot of real estate out there, and he's come up just shy on both those sinking liners from the Honey Hunters. The 0-1 pitch, breaking ball, dances a little bit low. Roman bats at a ball and a strike. Hampton at second. Trejo the runner at first. In a 4-1 ball game, Gastonia in charge here in game 2 of the season. We'll see what kind of a late inning ball club the Barnstormers have. Breaking ball gets in for a second strike. It looked like Shirley would not have trouble getting out of this inning when Felice made that nice running catch, taking Rosa's at bat away from him. But these last 2 batters with the liners to center. Roman bats at 1 and 2. We'll see if Shirley can put away the lefty hitter. The fastball just missing. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. 5 hits now for each side in this game. The Barnstormers have been charged with a second error. I don't know if they gave Clark one on that play or not. They may have. I didn't see it that way. Hopper foul. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. So let's do what I often do in these situations and go to the online box and see what information that gives me. And it does not have it that way. So I think it's just the scoreboard that did it. Shirley's pitch, off speed, waved at. Shaver is going to have to complete this at first, which he does. The strikeout goes 2-3. It closes out the inning, but Gastonia puts another run on the board. 1 run on 3 hits with no errors. A couple of runners stranded. We're 2/3 of the way there tonight, and at the end of 6, it is Gastonia with the 4-1 lead.
Are you sick and tired of washers that don't use enough water or take 2 hours to clean and don't last more than a few years? Well, come into Gockenauer's in East Petersburg now and let us show you the Speed Queen commercial grade laundry. Built the old-fashioned way with warranties up to 7 full years. Gockenauer's will deliver and install your new Speed Queen, and we know you'll be fully satisfied with your purchase. Gockenauer's in East Petersburg, your hometown dealer for 73 years.
At Clipper Magazine Stadium, we have hot dogs and popcorn, peanuts, soda, and nachos. But what if, say, you are only 3 months old and mom wants to have a night out and watch the Barnstormers? Well, thanks to May Grant Obstetrics and Gynecology, the littlest of Stormer fans now have a place to go for dinner during the game. Tots can take mom to the Little Sluggers dugout behind Section 13 at the stadium for a comfortable private feeding experience. A brightly painted room with comfortable furniture and TVs tuned to the game, it is the perfect spot for baby and mom during a night at the ballpark.
Well, the Barnstormers have to put their late inning rally shoes on at this point, down 4-1. It's 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors, and 4 left on for Gastonia tonight. For Lancaster, a run on 5 hits and 1 error with 3 runners left out on the bases. Zagunis, Cordero, and Clark all from the right side of the plate to face left-hander Michael Gunn here in the top half of the 7th inning. Barnstormers have gotten some terrific relief work in this series. The run given up by Shirley, the first, allowed by the bullpen in what was 6 innings of work by the time that run scored. Last night, 4 1/3 shutout from the bullpen as Sullentrop got the win. Zipchinski and Graham holds, and Schumann recorded the save. But now it's time for the Barnstormers to see what kind of a comeback team this might be. Comeback teams are always the most exciting to watch. Mark Zagunis leading off. He's 0 for 2 tonight, looking for his first hit of the year. Chopper to third base. Playing back on it is Roman. He's got the arm strength and cuts down Zagunis. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 7th inning. And Andretti Cordero will step to the plate. Cordero 2 for 2 with a run batted in tonight. That was one thing about the 2006 championship team. That was not a good come-from-behind club. Everybody would think with that record they must have been. The characteristic of the 2006 Barnstormers club was get the lead. That team scored an incredible number of runs early in games and had the bullpen to hold those leads with Patterson, Knox, Weatherby et al. At different stages of the season. A called strike, it's 0-1. But they never won a game where they trailed going into the 9th inning. There are other editions of the Barnstormers that have done that quite repeatedly, but that team never did it. 1 out, 1 strike, and the pitch is low. It bleeds on through Holderback. One of the repercussions, of course, of the dropped pitch rule is that the catchers always have to be on the alert. They have to be more active, and they'll get more tired on the hotter nights because they always have to sprint to the backstop on pitches that get away. In the past, without that rule, you let the bat boy get those. Cordero awaiting the pitch from left-hander Michael Gunn, and that's inside for ball 2. 2-1. Scoreboard says 2-0. I believe it's 2-1. Zagunis has been retired in the inning. Cordero batting with Clark on deck. Peroni after that. The Barnstormers looking for some kind of an opening to get back in the game. 2 balls, 1 strike on Andretti Cordero. It is 2-1. And the pitch, Hopper back toward the mound. Gunn will flag it an underhand to first. Successfully getting the ground balls is the middle reliever Michael Gunn. 2 up, 2 down in the top of the 7th. Ladarius Clark to step in. Clark tonight is 1 out of 2. Single banged into center back in the 2nd inning. And he grounded to third, closing out the 4th. Anthony Peroni climbs into the on-deck circle. Lancaster down by 3, and Gastonia now ticking down the outs. Lancaster has just 7 remaining. Here's the motion. Gunn to the plate, and the fastball is low. Ball 1 on red. Clark with the homer last night, his 19th as a Barnstormer. Drove in 65 runs last season and was not an everyday player. Ross giving him that opportunity here in 2022 to be in the lineup day in and day out. Swung on and missed. It's a ball and a strike here. There is still the possibility, and from what I understand, it's better than 50-50, but not a sure thing, that Alejandro De Aza will rejoin the Barnstormers at some point in the dirt. And ball 2, put quotation marks, of course, around dirt. And De Aza, who can play anywhere in the outfield, we saw that last year, will probably be stationed in left, especially at home. Ross wants Clark in center field on an everyday basis. at least for the time being. And obviously, you can reverse the two. Ladarius waits on the 2-1. Gunn will deliver, and that ball is hit in the air to right center field, not terribly far back. And Davis is there for the catch. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Michael Gunn, who has gotten 5 in a row since the leadoff base hit by Lair in the 6th inning. Now we'll go to the bottom of the 7th. We have reached the stretch. Here in North Carolina, it's Gastonia 4 and Lancaster 1.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Back to the bullpen for the Barnstormers, and it will be right-hander Tyler Laporte for the bottom of the 7th inning. If there's one guy who has, I think, a lot of upside, but definitely needed another set of eyes and another brain to work with him in bringing in Mark Johnson, it is Tyler Laporte. He's got just a lightning arm, but he, throughout his collegiate career, was a third baseman and a very good one. At Southern University, he was the Southwest Athletic Conference Co-Player of the Year his final season, and he put up some tremendous numbers as a hitter. And when I say the Barnstormers have some guys, if they should happen to run out of position players they can go to, Laporte is one of them. He had 377 with 65 runs batted in 56 games his senior year. He led his club in runs, hits, doubles, batting average, and runs batted in. On top of that, he stole 21 bases. And he pitched only 4 games in college. Then they came to the Barnstormers last year, was 0-1 in 21 appearances. First offering is knocked foul by the catcher Holderbach. No balls and 1 strike. Laporte from Lafayette, Louisiana, 6'1", 175 pounds. He just turned 25 a couple of weeks ago. Terrific stuff. He's got that wild leg kick and the tendency to spin around on the follow-through. Next delivery, down and away. Ball 1, strike 1. Mark, or MJ as he goes by, is taking to some extent a wait-and-see approach with these pitchers, but you really have something here, you think, in Laporte. Swing and a miss. It is 1 ball and 2 strikes. That one got a piece of Colton Shaver. So Owen Ballard IV heads out to personally valet style hand the ball back to Laporte. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Holderbach. Tommy Shirley worked 2. He gave up 3 hits, all singles, 1 run. Didn't walk anybody, struck out 2. It was a positive outing. It was an infield single that got that run-scoring 6th started for Gastonia. Ball 2, outside and low. 2-2 to Holderbach, who has struck out and walked so far tonight, both against DeSabatino. is the one guy that did not face the lefty. 2-2. Laporte ready to go. Here is the motion. The fastball is driven down the right field line. Giving chase into the corner is Zagunis. And Mark is there to make the catch. Foul fly ball down the right field line. Fans initially got a thrill out of it, but it didn't have enough to it. Stayed in play. Now here is the leadoff batter, Johnny Davis. He is 0 for 1 tonight. He has walked, been hit by a pitch, grounded into a double play, which will not happen terribly often. But he was batting right-handed and it gave the Barnstormers that extra split second. Inside, he spins out of the way. The ball off the glove of Colton Shaver, but did not roll far. Ball 1 and no strikes. Switch hitter batting left with 1 out, nobody on, bottom 7. Peroni, Torrance, and Mercedes scheduled in the 8th inning. The pitch, fastball cut on and missed, and believe you me, that had some getty up to it. Ball 1, strike 1 to Davis. The shortstop, Reinheimer, not having quite the night he had last night, is in the on-deck circle. The 1-1 offering sings past the outside corner, and that got to 94 on the stadium gun. Laporte can clear 95. Goodson at full throttle can. Schumann can. And we'll see if there are others among the newcomers. I have to think Sullentrop gets up there. It is ball 3, inside and low, and now Laporte risks walking Davis, putting him on for the 3rd time tonight. Sullentrop looks awfully good. He's going to walk some, but he got the win last night, gave up an infield base hit that was just a little squibber nobody could do anything about. Popped up on the 3-1 pitch. That'll fade out of play. Johnny Davis from Compton, near L.A., facing Tyler Laporte at 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Cajun, Mr. Laporte of French extraction. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the kick and the offering. This is popped up over toward the line. Playing shallow is Torrance for the catch. Good recovery by Laporte from the 3-1 count. 2 are away in the bottom of the 7th inning. And Reinheimer will step in 0 for 3. 2 strikeouts and a ground out for him tonight. You still have to appreciate the fine job that Barnstormers pitching has done in this series, coming off a year where the club ERA flirted with 7 for a good part of the season. But in this series, Lancaster has given up only 4 earned runs working into the 16th inning. Swing and a miss, and Reinheimer spins around. It is 0-1. 2 outs for Laporte in the bottom of the 7th inning. Talk about guys, if you had to, you could put it in position. Ben Wanger, of course, is the other, as he was a 2-way player all the way through college and for Team Israel last year. He can swing the bat. Ball 1 is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Zach Jarrett waits on deck. 2 in the 2nd, and the Roman homer. Unearned run in the 3rd, and then last inning, Trejo with the base hit into center, driving in Levy. Fly ball, center field. Gliding just a bit toward his right is Clark. It's a 1-2-3 inning with each outfielder contributing a putout on a fly ball. Nothing across against Laporte in the bottom of the 7th. We are on our way to the 8th tonight, and the Barnstormers find themselves trailing 4-1.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
New pitcher is in for the Gastonia Honey Hunters. It will be a right-hander for the 8th inning. Ronald Pena. His first appearance of the year. Great job by Michael Gunn. Facing the minimum of 6 hitters in 2 innings. Gave up 1 hit, struck out 1, and now Pena, who hails from West Palm Beach, Florida, takes over. 30-year-old, 6'4", 210 pounds. Leading off is Anthony Peroni, 0 for 2 tonight on groundouts. Pena ready to go. He fires, and that's lashed into right field for a base hit. Peroni, tough out during the spring camp, and comes up with his 2nd hit now of the regular season. Barnstormers collect base hit number 6 on the night. Just 1 for extra bases, a double by Felice back in the 4th inning. Here is Torrance. Devon is 0 for 2. He's bunted into an out. He is also struck out. Peroni bounces off first. Pena to the set, and a fastball to Torrance misses. It is ball 1 and no strikes. Barnstormers trying to rally here in the 8th. Down by 3. Never led in the game. Here's the next pitch. Torrance with a good-looking swing, but he fouls it away. Hard-throwing Ronald Pena. Got that one to 94 miles per hour. It is ball 1 and strike 1 to Torrance. Peroni inches off first, and then time is called at home plate. Pena played at the College of Charleston and then was drafted 10 years ago by the Nationals in the 16th round. Made his way through Harrisburg. Last year, he was at AAA Rochester for a while. Ball 2 is low to Devon. Mercedes waiting on deck, and then it would be Trace Lair. Pena, of course, on his way through the Nationals organization, spent parts of a couple of seasons in Harrisburg. To Torrance, swinging a foul away at the 2-1. Again, a fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Torrance. Will we see Pena go to something else here? In his career, 15 and 14 with a 4.55 ERA. 2 strikeouts for every walk, and right around a hit per inning. So very standard numbers. Here comes the 2-2. Torrance will swing and drive this to left center field. Hustling over and making a sprawling try is Davis. He comes up just short. Heading to third is Peroni. He is in on a double by Devon Torrance. Great effort by the center fielder, Johnny Davis. The ball coming off his glove as he hit the ground. And the Barnstormers now have runners at second and third with nobody out here in the 8th inning. And Melvin Mercedes, dry tonight, stepping in. Mercedes has had a fine night with the mitt, but at the plate 0 for 3. His liner in the 5th inning found the glove of Luis Roman, the third baseman. But the Barnstormers have set the stage for a rally here in the 8th inning. 2 runners in scoring position and 3 chances to get them home. Pena goes to work on Mercedes. Ground ball left side through a base hit. Peroni will score, and Torrance is forced to stop at third after holding up to make sure the ball cleared. RBI base hit from Melvin Mercedes. Now the tying runs are on with nobody out in the 8th inning. 3 straight base hits for the Barnstormers. Trace Lair to step in. He is 1 out of 3. Will the Gastonia bullpen scramble? Reggie Harris is coming out to have a word with Pena. Peroni singled through the right side to start the inning. Torrance with the double to the gap in left center. Again, almost a spectacular catch by Davis. And now Mercedes, tough to keep him collared for an entire game. He comes up with a clutch single to make this a 4-2 game in the 8th inning. With Torrance at third, Mercedes on at first. Lair 1 for 3 tonight will be the hitter. But the pitching coach, Harris, sees this as the perfect time for a mound visit. As of yet, nobody else warming up in the bullpen for the Gastonia Honey Hunters. They want to see if Pena can get out of this himself. Lair will jump in. He singled into center back in the 6th inning. He has also struck out and grounded out here tonight. This late in the game, the Honey Hunters will gladly give up the run to get a double play. And at that point, it would be 4-3, but they'd be just 4 outs away. Lair has other plans here. Pena to the plate. Lair with a huge cut fouled it off. It is 0-1 as the Barnstormers continue to try to zero in on Ronald Pena. Good speed on the bases with Torrance and Mercedes. You'd like to get Melvin into scoring position here and stay away from the double play, but you really don't want to risk an out either. No balls and a strike to Lair. Trace with a swing and a miss as Pena goes away from the fastball. He's got Lair at 0-2. Barnstormers have had RBI singles tonight from Cordero and Mercedes. They trail by 2 here in the 8th inning. 8 hits total for the Barnstormers of the game. 0-2 to Lair. Here's the pitch, and he pops this up. Foul ground. Sprinting after it is Roman. The left fielder coming over, making the catch is Hampton. Here comes a play at the plate, and Devon Torrance is doubled up, and now they're going to get Mercedes trying to grab an extra base as well. It is a triple play, and the Barnstormers end up out of the inning. Ross Peoples taking a gamble and turning Devon Torrance loose, but the catcher Holderbach had that throw and was waiting for Torrance's arrival. It wasn't even that close at home, and on the foul fly ball, we end up with what I believe is a 7-2-5 triple play, and the Barnstormers still trail by a couple. It is 1 run in the inning on 3 hits with no errors and nobody left on base. I've got to double check. I believe that is the first triple play ever turned against the Lancaster Barnstormers. I'll look that up if I can. We've got to go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. The score is Gastonia 4 and Lancaster 2.
There is a weekend in July where the baseball world revolves around a village in upstate New York. Baseball Hall of Fame induction weekend in Cooperstown is an unforgettable experience full of family-friendly activities and priceless moments. Make your plans today for July 22nd through 25th for the induction of Bud Fowler, Gil Hodges, Jim Cott, Minnie Minoso, Tony Oliva, Buck O'Neill, and David Ortiz as the class of 2022. Visit baseballhall.org today for the
Hey kids, join the coolest club in town, the Storm Force. The Storm Force is presented by the Lancaster Barnstormers and Commonwealth Charter Academy. For only $25, kids under 12 get an entire summer of Barnstormers fun with 12 game tickets, a t-shirt and bag, the chance to go first when kids run the bases, exclusive activities, and coupons from Dutch Wonderland, Chocolate World, and more. Don't miss out on all the fun. Go to LancasterBarnstormers.com and sign up.
The Barnstormers were poised to perhaps tie up the ball game or even go ahead, and then disaster strikes on a foul fly ball off the bat of Trace Lair, and it turns into a triple play, closing out the 8th inning. The Barnstormers had the tying runs on with nobody out. And now Felice, Shaver, and Zagunis will have to get it done in the top of the 9th inning. Meanwhile, Chase Johnson has come on for the Barnstormers in relief. He gets in for the first time in the Atlantic League. Johnson, another guy that displayed a lot of promise during the spring camp. The right-hander from Fallbrook, California, near San Diego, 30 years of age, 6'3", and 185 pounds, pitched in AAA with the Diamondbacks a year ago. Mostly, he was a San Francisco Giant farmhand during his playing career, pitching as high as the AAA level. Zach Jarrett, Stuart Levy, and then Joseph Rosa, the scheduled hitters. Well, it wasn't the first triple play ever turned against the Barnstormers. It's the first in 11 and a half years. The Newark Bears needed 4 players to do it. Kahaiaway, Munson, that was Eric Munson, Gresson, and Darrell Ward on the back end of it. August 19, 2010, the last time a triple play was turned against Lancaster. Breaking ball to the outside corner and strike one on Jarrett from Chase Johnson. Tyler Laporte got the side in order in the bottom of the 7th inning. 4-2 the score. Now a high pop up on the right side. That will get out of play. Cordero starting after it and giving up. 0-2, the count on Jarrett. Reese Hampton making the catch down the left field line toward the bullpen plate of Gastonia, and then turned, spun, fired, and just his throw was right on line to Holderbach. Torrance was really dead before he arrived. There was nowhere to go. Holderbach was in possession of that throw. It looked like Torrance was still about 10 feet away from home. And then Mercedes tried to sprint around and go to third, which really was not well thought out. He's going to score from second with 2 outs anyway, and then ends up getting tripled up. There's a check swing and a foul, 1-2 from Johnson to Jarrett. Well, the Barnstormers have had some pitchers named Johnson over the years. I would have to think, without looking it up, it's the most common last name for a Barnstormers pitcher. Certainly over the last few years, we had Kyle Johnson last year. At one point, we had the 2 Steve Johnsons. And the pitch from Chase, slider swung on and missed. Jarrett is gone on strikes. Well, the Barnstormers bullpen continues to be very impressive in the early going. 1 out, Stuart Levy will be the batter. He is 0 for 3 with a run scored. What could have been done differently about that last play in the triple play in the top of the inning. If Torrance holds up in the position where Hampton was, there really was no chance to get off a throw. Swing and miss. Johnson getting it to 94. No balls and one strike on Stuart Levy. Mercedes could have gone to second, Torrance holding at third. And the Barnstormers could have gotten Felice and Shaver up where a base hit could have tied the game. That might have actually been the better play. Hampton was completely going away from a throw to second base. I don't think he could have made one. And it would have been the longer throw from where he was than the throw to the plate was. Well, the Barnstormers wanted the run, and then everything just spiraled downhill. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, 1-2. And of course, hindsight is 20/20. It looked like when that ball was caught, Torrance had a pretty good chance to score. Hampton just made not only a great throw, but just to put on the brakes to be able to make the throw and get it on line. Took an extraordinary short period of time. 1-2 on Stuart Levy. Chase Johnson fires, and that is cut on and missed. 2 outs in the inning. I love this bullpen Ross has assembled here in 2022. This is shades of a Butch Hobson club, though there are some elements missing. The Barnstormers, for the first time in a while, don't have a submarine guy. Garrett Granite's opting not to come back. And if Ross had his druthers, he'd probably want one more lefty out of the pen. And he's got some good arms out there. 2 outs, and here is Rosa with a drive toward the alley, right center field. Over goes Clark. Ladarius runs it down, and Chase Johnson quickly gets the Barnstormers through the bottom half of the 8th inning. Nothing across for the Gastonia Honey Hunters. We will go to the top of the 9th. The Barnstormers still need 2. Felice, Shaver, and Zagunis are the scheduled hitters with the score. Gastonia 4 and Lancaster 2.
Hi everyone, Adam Gochenauer from Gochenauer Appliances, and I'm excited to tell you about a new addition to the Gochenauers family this summer season. We are now selling Titus Gas Grills. Titus Gas Grills gives you a high quality, all stainless steel grill at an affordable price, and the best thing is you can assemble it yourself in just 5 minutes. That's right, 5 minutes. Stop by to see this great grill now and mention this ad to receive a free gas grill cover with your Titus Grill purchase. Gochenauers in East Petersburg.
Pennsylvanians are creating their own soundtrack thanks to PA Lottery Scratch-Off's Excitement's back. Pennies, nickels, dimes, or quarters, no matter your choice, scratching's always in order. With big top prizes and second chance drawings, thrills await. They're out there calling if it's excitement you seek and you're looking for action, play the PA Lottery. And keep on scratching. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Can the Barnstormers rally in the 9th inning? We'll see. It is Jimmy Sherfy on to try and get the save for the Gastonia Honey Hunters. Sherfy. He takes over for Ronald Pena, who was in basically a deep pool of hot water in the 8th inning after 3 consecutive base hits greeted him. And then the triple play happened, and the Barnstormers were done, still trailing by 2. It's 4-2 as we hit the top of the 9th inning. Jimmy Sherfy is 30 years of age, a Californian, 6 feet and 175 pounds with a major league background. He is a former LA Dodger. Maybe if he closes well, he can go back there because, well, they no longer have That man known as Kenley Jansen there. Spent 17 to 21 in the big leagues. First pitch to Anderson Felice is taken for a strike. It's 0-1. Felice 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored. Product of the University of Oregon. He got to the major leagues initially with Arizona, then the Giants and the Dodgers. 57 big league games, 2 saves. To Felice, it's popped up, a weak pop-up, giving chase the third baseman Roman. Still digging, and he can't get there. 2 strikes to Felice. A double in 3 trips for Anderson tonight. 2 for 7 on the young season. Shaver and Zagunis will follow. Sherfy, along the way, picked up 5 major league victories. 3 with Arizona, 1 with San Francisco, and then later last year, 1 with LA. Here's the 0-2. Felice will look at a breaking ball for strike 3. So Jimmy Sherfy gets his Atlantic League career underway with a strikeout. And the Barnstormers down to just 2 outs. Colton Shaver will be the hitter. He is 0 for 3 and has struck out twice tonight. That was quite an exciting and breathless play in the top half of the 8th. Unfortunately, it might spell the undoing of the Barnstormers here tonight. 1 strike the count on Shaver. Just trying to get on base at this point. Sherfy is ready to deliver the breaking ball, and that is hit to left field, and that is hit far. Way back it goes, and the walls will not contain it. The kind of power we saw out of Colton Shaver during spring training, and the left fielder Hampton didn't even bother to turn around, as that is well into the Tar Heel night. Colton Shaver gets the Barnstormers within 1, and now Zagunis and Cordero get the chances. It's 4-3 here in the 9th inning. A monster of a home run over the screen and up through the flags. Here is Zagunis, who is 0 for 3. And the Sherfy pitch, a fastball for a strike. It is 0-1. With Andretti Cordero waiting on deck. The Barnstormers have certainly fought back in this game. Oh, if only one more run could have scored in that 8th inning. Zagunis down a strike. Here is Sherfy's pitch, and this is elevated shallow to right. On comes Jarrett for the catch, and the Honey Hunters are an out from leveling the series. Andretti Cordero, who's 2 for 3 tonight, standing in their way. Well, that Shaver home run, an absolute monster to straightaway left field. 4-3 ball game. 9 hits for the Barnstormers, 5 for Gastonia. But down to the last possibility. Here is Cordero, and the Sherfy pitch is chased. Andretti a little anxious there. And Sherfy, maybe Holderbach, thought he might be, and they gave Andretti a slow breaking ball. He chased it pretty badly. 0-1. Clark waits on deck. The right-hander fires, and boy, gives him another one. Swung on and missed. And Lancaster is down to a final strike. Oh, and 2 to Andretti. The motion, Sherfy to the plate. He didn't chase a third. The Honey Hunters thought they would experiment there. Ball 1, 2 strikes to Cordero. You might see a fastball up and out of the zone, or they could just go back and try to get him to chase a third one in the brown carpet. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch, it's a fastball, swung on and missed. It gets past Holderbach, who is going to throw to first, and it's not in time. The Barnstormers are alive on the strikeout of Cordero, but it gets away from Holderbach. We'll get a ruling on it officially, but it leaves Ladarius Clark with a chance here in the top half of the 9th inning. Lancaster not going down without a fight here. Clark stands in, 1 for 3 in the game. He had a home run here a night ago. Cordero, the tying run at first base. Sherfy will deal, and the fastball catches the outside corner for a called strike to Clark. Strikeout and a passed ball. Charged to Holderbach. The Barnstormers are still breathing. Clark bats at 0-1 with the tying run at first here in the 9th. Jimmy Sherfy will bring it home. It's bounced. Clark shows the discipline to lay off. Ball 1, strike 1. Anthony Peroni, the on-deck hitter for the Barnstormers. RBI single for Mercedes in the 8th to pull within 2. Home run by Shaver in the 9th to get within 1. Throw to first. Cordero not caught napping. One ball, 1 strike, and the pitch. Clark tries to hold on the swing. He could not. Again, Jimmy Sherfy with a breaking ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes for the second batter in a row. The Barnstormers are down to just 1 strike left in the game. Holderbach visits with Sherfy out at the mound. That'll be the second timeout, but at this point, that doesn't really matter, as the game is down to a final out. The Barnstormers, when all is said and done, have played a great game here tonight. This has been an entertaining contest. The triple play in the 8th inning may turn out to be fatal, though. Here is the pitch. Clark swings and misses, and it is over tonight. The series even at a game apiece. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. Here in the top half of the 9th inning, the triple play ends up the undoing of the Barnstormers here this evening. We'll be back with the wrap-up of tonight's game coming your way next. Our final score, the Gastonia Honey Hunters 4 and the Lancaster Barnstormers 3.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
The Barnstormers get tripped up in Game 2 of the season. Nothing to panic about after tonight. There were a lot of very positive elements to this game. Barnstormers pitching continues to be very, very solid. They made the one bad throw, which, if you want to look at it in retrospect, could have been the difference in the game, but we also saw some very fine defense out of the Barnstormers, especially in the infield here tonight. The Bats are alive and certainly didn't give up in the latter stages of the game. Lancaster wrapping out 9 hits, including a couple of doubles and a home run. Pitchers walked 3, struck out 7. One throwing error, the triple play, though. The difference in the game, the Barnstormers rolling the dice in the 8th inning. And they came up with snake eyes not just once, but twice on that same play and run themselves out of a rally in the top half of inning number 8. 4 runs on just 5 hits tonight for Gastonia with no errors, unlike last night when they made 3 in 1 inning. And the Honey Hunters with 4 runners left on base in this game. For the Barnstormers, 3 runs on 9 hits with an error, and also 4 runners left on base. The win goes to the starter, Deck McGuire, 5 innings, 4 hits and a run, 7 strikeouts. And the loss to Dominic DeSabatino. And really the one flaw in DeSabatino tonight, and it did hurt him, was the difficulty getting the leadoff batter. He allowed the leadoff batter to reach in 4 out of the 5 innings. And overall, with DeSabatino in the game for 4+ innings, he allowed only 7 base runners. A hit batter, 3 walks, 2 hits, and the 1 error, certainly not his fault. But 4 of those came leading off innings, and 2 out of those 4 innings, the Honey Hunters were able to score. At Dominic DeSabatino, certainly by no means a disastrous outing. He showed some mettle, and the only flaw there was the home run by Roman. Roman, his first of the year, with a man aboard in the 2nd, and then Colton Shaver with an absolute blast. 1 out into the top half of the 9th, also his first of the season. The save going to Jimmy Sherfy. He earned that in the 9th inning, although giving up 1 run and allowing on the pass ball, again, not his fault, the tying run to get on base for the Lancaster Barnstormers. We do not have the time and attendance of tonight's ball game as of yet. Second night in a row, they've had a little bit of difficulty wrapping up the game. It was somewhere in the 240s, which is about as quickly as the Barnstormers played a 9-inning game last year. No idea of the attendance, a little bigger, I think, than last night's opener. They're sitting back now and enjoying the fireworks being blasted off from behind the wall out in center field. 4-3, Gastonia with the victory here tonight. The 2nd inning put Gastonia into the lead. A bloop double by Joseph Rosa down the left field line. It felt just fair. And then DeSabatino was able to get 2 outs, but he couldn't get through Luis Roman and went to the opposite field at short porch out and left. He hits the 2-run homer and stakes Gastonia to a 2-0 lead. That lead stretched to 3-0 in the 3rd inning as Johnny Davis, again, reached base leading off, hit by a pitch, went to 2nd on a wild pitch, and then with 1 out and Davis at 2nd, Zach Jarrett hit a slow ground ball to the shortstop, Trace Lair. His throw skipped to Cordero, who couldn't fish it out. The ball got away, and Davis scampered around to score, making it a 3-0 ball game. Lancaster narrowed the gap in the 4th on a double to the right field corner by Felice, a single by Cordero up the middle. That made it 3-1. In the 6th inning, the Barnstormers bullpen surrendered its only run so far this season. 3 singles ganging up on Tommy Shirley, who brilliantly got DeSabatino out of the 5th. An infield single by Jarrett started it. Then with 2 outs, Reese Hampton and Cesar Trejo, each singling just out of the reach of a racing Ladarius Clark. The run scoring to make it 4-1. Melvin Mercedes followed a single by Anthony Peroni and a double by Devon Torrance with an RBI base hit in the 8th to get the Barnstormers within 4-2. And then the play of the night happened. The Barnstormers had runners at first and third, nobody out. In the top of the 8th inning, Trace Lair facing Ronald Pena lifted a foul fly ball down the left field line. Reese Hampton raced over toward the Gastonia bullpen, made the catch, and was able to wheel around and fire a strike home, doubling up Devon Torrance. The Barnstormers tried another gamble, looking to get Mercedes to third base. He was thrown out there. The Barnstormers took themselves out of the inning with a first triple play turned against Lancaster in better than 11 seasons. And after Colt Shaver hit the long home run to left with one out in the top of the ninth, the Barnstormers really could do nothing else. Sherfy nailing it down. Gastonia with the victory here tonight by the final score of 4-3. 2 hours, 40 minutes was the time of game, and the crowd tonight, 1,700 here at Caramount Health Park. I thought it looked a little bigger than last night. I was incorrect in that assessment. Well, the Barnstormers go down 4-3. Around the rest of the Atlantic League here tonight, the Charleston Dirty Birds lead Staten Island 3-1, bottom of 7th. Southern Maryland up 6-0 in the middle of the 6th at Lexington. Long Island one better than York, 3-2 in the middle of the 7th inning. Wild Health and High Point have gone to extra innings. 1-1 is the score at Truist Point. So assessments of the Atlantic League through the first couple of nights, it's competitive, and the pitching definitely better. We're not seeing the ridiculous high-scoring games at the outset of this season that was the trademark of 2021. Well pitched tonight, generally well fielded, and there was some timely hitting on both sides. Gastonia ends up one better than the Barnstormers here. On the Major League scoreboard tonight, we'll refresh the page and see that St. Louis leads Cincinnati 4-1, bottom 7. San Francisco's early lead still holding 7-0 over Washington. They are in the bottom of the 6th. Yankees up 4-1 over the Guardians in the top of the 6th inning. Milwaukee and Philadelphia won all top half of the 6th. Boston 4-2 over Tampa Bay in the 6th inning. Atlanta 1-0 over Miami. They also are in the top of the 6th. Pirates and the Cubs tied 2-2 at Wrigley. They're in the bottom of the 3rd. Houston 1 up on Toronto, 1-0, bottom 3. And the White Sox and Twins scoreless in the 4th inning in the Twin Cities. Baltimore and the Angels, Mets at Arizona, LA at San Diego, Kansas City at Seattle, Texas at Oakland. Still to come tonight, Colorado and Detroit. Postponed due to the weather in the Motor City, and they will make up that game tomorrow at Comerica. 4-3, Gastonia over the Barnstormers here tonight. Game 2 of our 4-game weekend series, and then we are done, regrettably, here at Caramount Health Park for the season. Barnstormers a week away from the home opener against the York Revolution, but more business here over the next couple of days. Augie Silk will be taking the mound tomorrow for the Barnstormers. He was 5-7 for Lancaster a year ago, and Silk will be matched up against a right-hander by the name of Jerry Keel, who is coming out of the San Diego farm system. He was 4-8 there in 2021. We'll be with you at 6:10 once again tomorrow evening from here in Gastonia, North Carolina. Now for our video producer, Ryan Cortazzo, back at Clipper Magazine Stadium. He's getting ready for the home opener. So is all the cast and crew. And for our presenting sponsor as well, Adam Gockenauer of Gockenauer Appliances of East Petersburg, I'm Dave Collins. Have a great evening, everyone. And come next Friday when the Barnstormers host the Revs at 6:30, we'll see you at the ballpark.